Everybody, welcome back to Fetching Groceries with Ilya Friday. I'm sure nothing else of consequence will happen in this episode. Sorry for cutting it kind of close to start time. Number one, I had to start a little bit later because I got up later than I was hoping to. And number two, I got in my Stream Deck today. That was gifted very graciously by Seditious during the Tuesday Deltarune stream. Thank you to Seditious yet again for that. And I was setting it up and getting it all tested, and I didn't have a lot of time to play with it, so I kind of had to hack some stuff together real quick. But I think generally speaking, it actually works really, really well, and I think it's going to make hotkey stuff a lot more convenient for us from now on. Actually, before I do anything with that, let me make sure that's set to voice mod. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So I have all of my layouts on this one page on my buttons right now, but if I press this button and switch over to voice mod real quick, I can just... Hey, how's that sound? Do you hear the filter? Yeah. So yeah, I can switch those really, really seamlessly. Also, there's the full page and back. It's very simple and easy. I'm thinking it's gonna be really, really helpful. Artless3438 with the $20. This is for the Great Fate streams. Can't make this one, but keep killing it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, we're really on a roll right now. I think that things are only continuing to look up for streams moving on from here. So I'm really excited about that. Also, in case you haven't heard already, we're starting the Great Ace Attorney next Tuesday, so that's going to be exciting as well. And we're going to continue Deltarune on Tuesdays in between that as well. So that will be lots of fun. But anyway, all of that aside, let's get back into Fate Stay Night, which, by the way, is having its 22nd anniversary today, as was pointed out earlier in the chat by Cross. Fate Stay Night originally came out on January 30th of 2004. So, yep. That was precisely 22 years ago today. It's pretty crazy. And it's still, I would argue it still holds up pretty well. You know, some problems aside. Alright. Let's get into it.
Senpai, I've finished washing the turnips. How are the chicken wings doing?
Yep, just finished blanching them. Cut those into fourths and we'll stew them.
Senpai, what are you doing with that curry powder?
Making a sauce. I'll use it to glaze the sardines before I grill them. Ilya doesn't like fish, but I bet she'll eat it if it's curry flavored.
That's a great idea. I'll trim the fish, so please keep an eye on the stew.
Oh, that's okay. Since I don't need a knife to trim sardines, I'll ask you when it's time to scrape out the bones, so use the dashi and soy sauce to braise the kabocha squash in the meantime. We should have at least one sweet dish.
Roger that. Oh, you look like a sushi chef trimming fish with one hand, Senpai.
Sakura cheerfully reaches into the refrigerator. Maybe she feels better after a full night's sleep, because she's in a great mood this morning. And I'm having fun in the kitchen with her too. Sakura thoughtfully anticipates what I'm trying to do and preps everything I need. Cooking together with her is so comforting.
Senpai? Sushi chef? You stopped moving.
Oops. Sorry. Spaced out for a second. Oh, he didn't say sorry. I'm not sorry. Actually, I've never been sorry for anything. Spaced out for a second. We'd better hurry. It's almost 7. I sigh quietly so that Sakura won't hear and resume trimming the sardines. Sardines have soft flesh, so it's better to trim them with fingers than a knife. It's something I can just barely manage to do with my only working hand.
When did you learn that skill? I don't think it's very common to trim fish with only your right hand.
It isn't a skill. I'm just doing the best I can with what I've got. You could learn to do it too.
That's all?
That's all. When people say kitchen skills, they mean stuff like ice carving or butchering a cow with a single knife. You can handle the rest. We'll grill them after you debone them, so put them in a bowl. I step away from the cutting board and move in front of the stove. I turn on the heat under the frying pan and add a half teaspoon of oil. I'm more or less on autopilot thanks to muscle memory, so I start looking up at the sky.
Senpai?
I grunt absently.
This might not be any of my business, but did something happen with Ilya?
My hand holding the pan freezes, but only for an instant. Sakura probably didn't notice. Yeah, a little. We talked before I came to the kitchen. Ilya is who she is, and this isn't easy for me. I have no idea how I'm supposed to deal with her.
As a master, you mean? Did Ilya say that she's going to keep fighting or something like that?
Nah, she doesn't seem like she wants to fight right now, or Maybe she never wanted to begin with. She was trying to get the Holy Grail as the Ainsburn Master, but she has another goal aside from that. But she lost it long before this war even started. The person she wanted to see, Kiritsugu Emiya, died 5 years ago. So, what can I do for her in his place? What should I do? Hey, Sakura, if Ilya says she doesn't want to go back to her country, can she live here with us?
This is your house, Senpai. My opinion doesn't really matter.
What are you talking about? This is your house too. I definitely need to consult my partner before letting in a new housemate.
Am I your partner?
Yeah, who else? Ilya or Tosuka would never help me so perfectly in the kitchen. Jesus, okay, man. Shido, I think there are other reasons why Ilya would not fit this role. Maybe you've heard of them. Could you perhaps bring them to mind if I were to ask you the question? This fucking guy. Sakura, the pan's ready. I ask her for the deboned sardines. Sakura gives them to me with an unsteady motion. What's wrong? Is her favor back?
Right, got it. I'll do my best to get along with Ilya.
Yeah, I'd be happy to see that. Ilya says she doesn't dislike you, so I bet you'd get along if you talked. Yeah, that would make me really happy. Once the Holy Grail War and our relationship as masters ends, I'd love to have Sakura and Ilya live here. We can make breakfast together without a care in the world, just like today. I'd pay any price to make that happy future come true. Hi, Rin. Morning. You two are up early for a Sunday. Just passes by. Suddenly, an incredible sight walks by.
Senpai, did you just see a strange person walk by?
Well, if you saw it too, then I guess I'm not hallucinating. We timidly peek into the living room. With a loud thump, the newcomer violently plants herself on the floor to stake her territory. Then she grumpily pours herself a cup of tea and turns on the TV with a sour expression.
Wow, so Tosuka-senpai isn't a morning person.
Sakura, isn't that term usually reserved for more endearing behavior? What do you mean? Rin is incredibly endearing. Stop being such a spoil sport. We start eating breakfast. I'm sitting next to Sakura at the dinner table, while Tosuka's next to Ilya. Dining table, rather. Yeah, we start eating breakfast at the dinner table.
Oh, this is seasoned so tastefully, Sakura. I suppose I'll eat this.
I can't tell if Ilya is praising or attacking her. Hermie the Frog 21 with the 5. Can't make it to the stream tonight. Have a good Fate Friday. Thank you, we will. I appreciate it. Alright, I lose. I don't normally eat breakfast, though. In classic Tosuka fashion, she grumbles even as she munches on the tamagoyaki. One grunt and she focuses on her food, without saying anything else. Breakfast passes in silence. The only noise comes from the TV as it alternates through topic after topic. I see a familiar backdrop on the screen. There's no doubt about it. They're talking about mysterious bloodstains found this morning in the Shinto park. Just gonna go ahead and have that switched over just in case. Yep.
Missing people in the Central Park. Large numbers of bloodstains in the vicinity.
It was a rather graphic incident. An older man out on a morning run found bloodstains at the park and reported them. Police officers responding to the scene discovered enough spilled blood to account for a single person, as well as partial human remains. Apparently there was enough remains for up to 4 victims.
Police are looking into the background of 4... Wait, why 4 victims? I thought they only found enough blood for 1.
Oh, wait a minute. That was not the announcer. That was Shido. Sorry. Cross trash with the 10. I got paid yesterday, so take some cash. Thank you. Yeah. Well, let's just reread that line real quick. Police are looking into the background of 4... Wait, why 4 victims? I thought they only found enough blood for 1. Because the body parts pointed to that many people, probably. Even if they only found parts of the bodies, they could figure out that much. Tosuka, do you think a servant that Zoken did this?
Maybe. I don't know whether Zoken was responsible, but the shadow definitely did it. Look at the edge of the video. The plants are all black and withered, just like when it showed up in the forest.
Tosaka analyzes it carefully, but there's still two things I don't understand. Why? It's never done anything like this before. Even if it was taking magical energy from the people in town, it never, it didn't need to murder them like this.
Yeah, if I had to come up with a reason, it could be because it doesn't have any enemies to oppose it anymore. There aren't any masters left that can beat it in a straight fight. Now it can just do whatever it wants without worrying about being watched, right?
You mean he's just killing discriminately now?
Do you mean indiscriminately?
Maybe. But personally, it doesn't seem that way. Even if Zoken and the Shadow are connected, I think this might have been an unforeseen accident. I'll bet you with Tamagoyaki that this came as a surprise to Zoken.
Not that Tosaka ever even has any Tamagoyaki left to hold up her end of the bet. And now her eagle eyes are eyeing my plate. Why do you think it was an accident?
Because he can't clean this up. There's the bloodstains, but Zoken wouldn't have left any bodies at the scene, which means that Zoken wasn't there while that spooky shadow was having a meal.
I see. One more question. How do they know that there are 4 victims? There's only enough blood for one, and they said that they only found enough body parts to make up one person.
It's not body mass, but shape. What if they found 4 body parts that each person can only possess one of? You can count those to figure out how many victims there are. Think about it. If you found 4 left shoes in a pool of blood, how many people would that add up to?
Tosaka talks about it calmly. As soon as I imagine that visual, my appetite suddenly goes away. Oh my god, the plane!
Please! Leave me alone! I'm trying to stream! Oh my god, that one is really close. Could you get the fuck away from my house, please? Thank you.
After breakfast.
Chido, come with me. There's something we need to do.
She takes me to the dojo. I have no reason to say no, and I was planning to talk to Tosaka about our next steps. Was.
Hey, I only asked Shiro to come with me. What are the rest of you hovering around for?
Hold on just a second.
AJ Morningstar 6281 with the 5. Hey Nezmi, can't stay long, but will you play Tsubihebe or Full Metal Daemon Muramasa? I've been thinking about playing both at some point, yes. Probably not on stream, especially for Tsubihebe. But I probably will play both, at least on my own time at some point in the future. Oh yeah, shit, hold on just a second. You're actually gonna have to give me like 1 minute because I need to send my portion of rent off real quick. Forgot that I had to do that today. Let me do that real quick. It's like... Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay, that should be done.
Tosaka's cranky that we have uninvited companions.
You seemed oddly hostile, so I thought it was dangerous to leave Senpai alone with you. Shiro and I have an alliance, you know. I'm not going to backstab him, and you know that, so what are you doing here, Sakura? Well, it's my job to protect him. Confident, aren't you? And what about you? You know what I'm going to do. Here to join the peanut gallery?
No, I'm with Sakura on this one, Rin. I know what you want to do, but I don't know how you plan to accomplish it. I'm here to keep an eye on you so you don't do anything strange to him.
Fine, I'm just going to tweak his body a bit to help him out, so don't get in the way. Can't afford to not concentrate on this.
Tosaka's overnight bag is in the dojo. She must have brought it here before breakfast. It's filled with tools I think I remember seeing at her house, so I think I know what she's going to do to me, but... Sorry, Tosaka. One thing before we start.
What is it? Don't tell me you're suddenly worried about the pain after all this time.
Of course I am. Nobody wants to get hurt. But you haven't explained what you're going to do. Anyone in my place would run away as soon as you brought all this stuff out. Our audience members nod. I'm glad I have such supportive backup.
My bad for not explaining enough. From your point of view, nothing I do is normal anyway. If you don't like it, you can just leave.
Tosaka's sulking because we're ganging up on her. I'm not complaining. I have a vague idea of what you're trying to do, and I trust you completely. No matter what you tell me to do, I'll believe what you say. It's what I promised you last night.
Then why are you dragging this out? If you don't have any doubts, then just shut up and behave.
That's not the problem. I want to touch base with you on our future direction. We should clearly lay out what we're going to do next.
Doing to do next. Thank you for the awesome typo, Aniplex.
The expressions on my side change. We put off this discussion yesterday, but now it's time to hash this out. It concerns the future for all of us. What are we going to fight? What do we want to do? There's no going back once we decide. No, we passed the point of no return a long time ago. I'm just reiterating that fact.
I'm not fighting in the war. I'll fight back if someone attacks me, but I don't want to be part of the war anymore. I don't know what's going to happen once the war is over.
I agree with Ilya. I don't think we can win against Grandfather. If the outcome's already decided, then he might not do anything to us if we just stand aside.
Tosuka doesn't say anything. I can't tell what she's thinking, but she doesn't agree with Ilya and Sakura, so I hope she's thinking what I'm thinking. Yeah, I agree that you should stay on the defensive. Sakura, you should stay home and be on guard against Zoken. Ryder's here, so if it comes to a defensive fight, she should be able to protect you and Ilya. Meanwhile, Tosuka and I will think of a way to beat Zoken. He's going to attack anyway if we stay cooped up here. We can't just let him run riot on the town. There's no telling when something like what we saw on the news might happen again. Tosuka doesn't interrupt me. Whatever she's thinking, she also intends to fight Zoken with me. We can't leave him be. We can't ignore the shadow either. Tosuka and I are going to go out at night, so I want Sakura and Ilya to stay here and be on their guard.
Dragon Tamer, we're starting the first Great Ace Attorney this coming Tuesday.
I look around to see if anyone disagrees, but...
What are you talking about, Senpai?
Sakura? Did I say something wrong? Tosuka and I are the only ones who can fight, so we have to defeat Zoken.
That's crazy! You can't even move both of your arms! Do you have any idea what you're saying right now?
Sakura?
I don't understand, Senpai. You're not making sense. How can you still want to fight after what's happened to you? You should know firsthand that this war's too much for you. Why are you still being so foolish? I was so relieved when I saw that you were too injured to fight. It meant that you wouldn't be in danger anymore, so why?
Sakura. Sakura's trembling. She's sulking, shaking at her own words. I don't know what she's feeling right now. All I can really do is answer her question. Sakura, I'm going to win this for you. That's why I have to fight. It's true that I can't overlook what Zoken and the Shadow are doing, but more than that, I want the Holy Grail. Not for anyone else, but for my own selfish wish. That's right. It's for my own selfish desire to be on Sakura's side and no one else's.
You're doing this for me?
Yeah. If we can remove the crest worms from your body, it will help you too. It's going to be okay, Sakura. If I don't have a chance of winning, then I'll make one. I won't fight when there isn't any hope. It's going to be dangerous, of course. I can't promise you that I won't get hurt trying. But I'll make sure to come back to you. I said I'd protect you, remember? I can't keep that promise unless I stay by your side. Sakura looks down painfully. It almost seems like she's apologizing to me.
Alright, you two finished yet? We're all on the same page now, so let's not beat around the bush. Sakura and Ilya will hold down the fort. Shiro and I will go out at night on night patrol. If we come across our enemies, we won't recklessly attack them. We'll only fight to reduce their strength when we have a chance of winning. Are you okay with that direction, Shiro?
Yeah, it's reassuring to hear you say that.
I'm just stating the obvious. And Sakura, Kirei couldn't extract all of the crest worms from you, but it should mostly keep them in check for now. They won't go out of control again as long as nothing triggers them directly like that time with Shinji. On the other hand, as long as you stay in this house, Zoken hasn't won the war. He's going to come for you sooner or later, so you can't avoid fighting him forever. You should know better than to talk like that. You're right, but Grandfather won't get rough with us as long as... Sakura, stop being such a coward! Zoken isn't your grandfather or your master. Do you really think someone who commits atrocities like that is human? No, I have never once thought of Grandfather as a human. Then make up your mind. You need to fight your own battles, just like Shiro and I are going to be fighting out there. Zoken attacks, you need to escape and survive, no matter what. As long as Ryder is still alive, the Holy Grail isn't complete, and there's still hope for you.
She towers over Sakura with the dignity of a big sister. Sakura nods meekly and says that she understands. Oh, whoops.
Yes, AccuWeather, I know that it's cold. You don't have to tell me, I can feel it.
After that, I ask Tosaka why we're here in the dojo.
Right. First, I need you to strip naked. This isn't going to work unless I see exactly how your body's changed.
And she gives me an outrageous answer. Huh?
What? What? What are you so surprised for, Sakura? Of course I'm surprised. What are you thinking, asking him to strip? I'm thinking about Shido, obviously. You're in danger, but he's in just as much danger. You know that he'll be in trouble unless we take some measures. I know, but... If you do, then stop interrupting. Come on, you. Stop spacing out and take off that shirt. I'm gonna apply a sign of evil warding, but I can't do that with your clothes on.
Tosaka glares daggers at me.
Ugh.
But Sakura's gaze is just as painful. It's like her anxious eyes are asking me if I'm going to go over to her sister.
Hurry up. Your body needs time to acclimate to it before we go out on patrol.
Okay. The situation's too serious to worry about feeling ashamed. I don't want to get naked, but taking off my shirt's just like changing clothes, so it's no big deal.
I took off my shirt, Tosaka, now what? Come here. I'm gonna use a little bit of my magic crest. Over to you? Looking like this? Of course! I'm gonna touch you with my left hand, gauge your physical condition, and then inscribe a ward against evil on you. It might tickle or hurt, but I need you to bear with it.
She beckons me over. I can't escape from the dojo now. I give up and go over to Tosaka. I have a feeling Sakura's eyes are boring into me.
One warning before I start. You've talked about flipping a switch in your body before, but don't do that this time. You'll be in danger if you open and close your magic circuits carelessly.
Okay, got it. My voice pitches higher and it's getting hard to breathe. I'm half naked and really close to Tosaka. Why wouldn't I be nervous?
Hey, are you listening to me? I need you to relax.
I'm listening. I am.
Fine then. I'm about to do surgery to suppress your magical energy. Right now you're unstable and Archer's power could backflow into you from his arm at any time. I'm going to insert needles into your left shoulder, throat, and belly button, preventing you from connecting to your left arm unless you try really hard to. It's a precaution against the shadow, too. That thing sucks up any magical energy near it. This sign I engrave in you will give you some magic resistance, so you should feel less uncomfortable the next time you run into it.
With that, Tosaka places her palm on my chest. I yelp in surprise and barely manage to stop my feet from beating a hasty retreat.
Oh, is it hot? Can you put up with it? I'm gonna transfer a crest to you through my left hand, so I can't lower the temperature any more than this.
No, the temperature is fine. Tosaka's hand was so soft it nearly shattered my heart. Each time her girlish, slender fingers touch my chest, I can feel the heat rising in my head.
Okay, I have a good idea of your chest now. Next, I'll do your navel, and it's gonna hurt a little. I need to stick my finger in your belly button, so try not to move. Don't worry, we'll move it around too much, so it won't injure you.
Wait, move what around? Tosaka! My body spasms. My stomach. Tosaka's palm on my chest was unbearable enough, but now something small and stick-like's under my skin, digging around inside my body.
Wait, not yet. I said it would hurt. Stop making those noises. It's distracting. It makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. You idiot! It's only making me blush even worse when you talk about it that way.
Sakura in the background.
That's it for your navel. I'll move on to your shoulder and throat. Stay still, okay?
I'd rather dash out of the room like a scared rabbit. I want to run, but it'll just make Tosaka more self-conscious, so I stop protesting.
Come on, suck it up. I'll start with your shoulder. Hang in there. Grit your teeth and stop making funny noises.
Okay, I'll try. I look away from Tosaka, feeling embarrassed. My whole body must be red, not just my face. I know we're doing it for the magecraft, so I feel bad for making Tosaka uncomfortable too. How am I supposed to look her in the eye after this?
There, I'm finished. Go cool off. I need to put away my tools.
Tosuka starts packing her first aid kit, looking box into her overnight bag. Still flushed, I finally managed to catch my breath. And then... I noticed that Sakura looks like she wants to say something. She's looking away and wringing her hands uncomfortably. Sakura? What's wrong? She glances at my face. Then she takes a deep breath as if to work up her courage and asks,
Senpai, we're a couple, right?
My cheeks suddenly reach boiling temperature again just seconds after cooling off.
Senpai?
Stop it. This is absolutely the wrong time to get tongue-tied. Yeah, you're my,
That's right. I'm just being weird for letting my sister get to my head.
Finally, I realized that Sakura has been looking so hurt because she's been pouting. Sorry, but Sakura, Tosuka and I aren't like that. I just couldn't help myself in that situation.
I know that, but please try to keep it together. You're my boyfriend.
I know. I couldn't resist. I'm a guy, and I've had a crush on Tosuka since my first year of high school, so there was nothing I could do. Sorry, I'll keep it together next time. I'll do my best not to let her get the better of me.
Really? I'll get mad if it happens again.
I tell her I really will try, feeling apologetic from the bottom of my heart. I can't believe I'm only now realizing it, but well, it's awfully nerve-wracking living under the same roof with 3 girls. The time's 11:30 a.m. It's almost lunchtime. The kitchen's busy and filled with an unapproachable tension.
Tosuka-senpai, I was thinking about making something light for lunch. Is there anything you don't like eating?
From the corner of the kitchen, Sakura timidly asks Tosuka a question. She answers.
Okay, I'll make Mappo tofu then.
The fucking kitty apron!
Jeez.
Tosuka completely ignores Sakura's question and starts making tofu on her own.
This is perilous. Have you lost your mind letting those two cook, Shido?
Ilya's sitting upright on a seat cushion. She doesn't sugarcoat her question. I can see how from Ilya's point of view, Sakura and Tosuka look tense.
The longer you leave them alone, the more tense they'll get. Why'd you ask them to do that when you know how they are around each other?
It just kinda happened. When I mentioned lunch, Tosuka said that she'd cook, while Sakura insisted that it was her job. They talked about it quite a bit, but neither was willing to back down, so I said that they should just both cook.
That's what you said, huh? Neither of them looks ready to give in, though.
Ilya accepts my explanation and takes a polite sip of tea. As expected of a princess, even without knowing proper etiquette, the way she drinks tea is so graceful.
But Shido, shouldn't you be there to bridge the gap between them? Why are you having only Rin and Sakura cook?
The
Tosukas and Matos are enemies. Rin wants to kill her, you know.
It was only until yesterday. Tosuka's helping us because she doesn't want to fight Sakura, and they aren't enemies. They get along, and I trust them to make lunch because I think they'll do well.
They get along?
Is that such a surprise? We were enemies, but we're friends now. They're the same.
But you and I are special.
That's got nothing to do with it. You can tell just by looking. Tosuka's being more gruff than usual, and Sakura immediately worries she's done something wrong. Meaning...
Aww.
They both care about each other, but she doesn't want Sakura to know that, so she's acting cold and ignoring her. Yeah, Sakura knows that too, so she's making mistakes.
The typos have been pretty bad for a hot minute here.
So she's making mistakes that she wouldn't normally. She can't help but worry about Tosuka.
That's true, now that you mention it. So what, they're too embarrassed to talk to each other even though they want to be friends?
I nod. I don't know how Tosuka feels about it, but I can tell that's how Sakura thinks. I'm sure that Sakura likes Tosuka and wants Tosuka to like her. Otherwise, she wouldn't refer to her as big sister. Rin's actually pretty awkward, huh? Ilya watches the pair in the kitchen. She sounds impressed.
Yeah, AJ, thank you for the $5. I'm not gonna be... We're not gonna be getting into that subject, though.
I would like not to discuss that.
Ilya watches the pair in the kitchen. She sounds impressed. I follow her gaze. They should be about halfway done. Tosuka and Sakura are standing side by side in the kitchen, each cooking whatever they want. Both are silent. One holds a frying pan, while the other holds a ladle. The silence drags on. It's starting to get suffocating even for me.
Tosuka-senpai.
Check for a second.
Sorry, I thought I heard something weird.
But I don't know what it was, so I'll just ignore it for now. Then, like true sisters, they both break the ice at the same time.
What? If you got something to say it. I'll hear you out.
It's nothing really. Did you want to say something, Tosuka-senpai?
Not really. I was just thinking about how it's not every day that you get to see what seasonings someone else uses, so it might be useful to know which ones you use.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about your recipes too.
And they're done. For heaven's sake, it's like watching grass grow.
The scary thing is that I can't deny it. Tosuka's usually so open and unreserved, so why is she so shy when it comes to Sakura? That goes for Sakura, too. She called Tosuka Ne-san when she was with me, so it's painful to watch her being so polite with her now. Sakura,
What is it, senpai?
I want to talk to you. Come here. Is something outside?
Oh, is something outside?
No, the outside has nothing to do with this. I want to tell you a secret.
A secret? Is it something you can't tell my sister?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Hmm?
I mean, the way you address Tosuka. You don't call her Ne-san to her face, right? It's pretty obvious that you want to, but you're keeping yourself from saying it.
Wait, it's obvious to her?
Oh. It was just supposed to be a leading question, but Sakura is even more bashful than I expected. She's a She's a shy little sister who thinks a lot of her big sister. No, Tosuka hasn't noticed. For some reason, she's really clueless when it comes to you. She might even think that you dislike her.
That's not true at all. I'd expect her to hate me, but I'm happy just to be around her. I never dreamed that we'd get to make lunch together.
Yeah, so why don't you just tell her that? Even that thick-headed Tosuka would realize it if you said it to her face. If you do that, then she'll realize without me even telling her that Tosuka wants to get along with her too.
Senpai?
It's nothing. Anyway, try calling her Ne-san. I'm sure just hearing that will make her a completely different person.
I see. I'm sure it will make her uncomfortable. I'm a Mato mage and I can't do anything like she can. I'm sure Tosuka-senpai would be disappointed in how much of a failure I am.
Come on. Don't bring that baggage into your sisterly relationship. You like Tosuka, and she's your big sister. That's the clearest kind of connection there is. I guarantee that both of you think well of each other. It even makes me a little jealous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so try addressing her as your big sister. She trusts you as much as you trust her, so you don't need to be afraid. I'd like you to call her that for her sake, too.
For her sake.
I don't know what indecision Sakura is grappling with. She puts her hands together like a prayer and looks deep in thought, then...
Okay, I'll do my best.
I return to the living room. Sakura exchanges a look with me, does a quick gesture to pump herself up, and goes back into the kitchen.
Welcome back. Sakura looked really tense. What happened?
Well, the rest depends on her courage. I think they'll be fine, though. I plop back down on a seat cushion.
Ne-san, can I fry this chicken after you're done?
Yeah, that's the only step left, so you can... Wait, Sakura, did you just...
Yes, then I'll fry the chicken, so please cut that lettuce, Ne-san. I'll let you plate the food.
Right, sure, but
conversation becomes stiff. It's even more tense than before, and the duo falls silent again. They watch each other. Okay, yeah, let's not slip that wording up. Jesus Christ. Holding their breath.
It's weird, isn't it? Heck, it isn't weird. I was just surprised to hear it. So, I don't have a problem with it. You're free to call me what you want, and I always say Sakura without any honorifics. Plus, you have two senpai here, so it'd be less confusing if you called me something else, right?
Tosuka huffs with a reluctant tone and turns away from Sakura. But she's blushing and can't hide the grin on her face. Sakura's probably noticed too. Their work after that exchange became even more awkward. They both made mistakes and messed up the plating, covered the fried chicken in pepper, turned the mappo tofu into fiery lava, and even forgot to turn on the rice cooker so lunch was missing rice. It was a disaster. Still, I could spot Tosuka and Sakura grinning whenever one thought the other wasn't looking. They looked happy as can be.
Fill up with the 8. It'll become very clear that the beating heart of HF isn't even the romance between Shido and Sakura, but the relationship between Sakura and Rin. Aww. You love to see family healing, you really do.
Goodness, they're so awkward with each other.
Ilya remarks with exasperation before making a face as the mappo tofu tingles her tongue. I nod in agreement and enjoy the slipshod lunch they made for us. After lunch, I take a break and go back to my room. Tosuka said she had something to do and took Ilya to her room.
Ilya's going to help me come up with countermeasures against Zoken. It'll take time for your body to adapt to the crest, so take it easy in the afternoon. You'll just be in our way.
So she said. We don't have any way to fight back against Zoken right now. All there is to do is to wait for Tosuka to finish whatever she's working on. Sakura goes back to her own bedroom. She has several dizzy spells while we were cleaning up after lunch. I was relieved when I saw her in good spirits this morning, but she's still suffering from a fever. She took our advice to rest in the bedroom if she felt tired at all. And now I'm alone, looking at my left arm. I couldn't move it at all before, but now I can slightly bend it at the elbow. It still feels completely numb, but on the bright side, it doesn't hurt much anymore. If there's any pain, it's mostly from the crest that Tosuka transplanted into me. My shoulder, throat, and dantian? Is that how you say that? Dantian. Just below my navel. Each spot feels like one of the Frankenstein monster's bolts are screwed into it. First they put someone's left arm on me, and now they're holding my body together with bolts. I picture myself as a cyborg from a sci-fi movie. It's an amusing image, but there's nothing funny about my condition. I wanted to check out my arm in the mirror, but I can't even stand up in front of it. It's sometime before 2 p.m. I've got time to kill, so...
I should look after Sakura first.
I'll go check on Sakura. She went back to her bedroom like we asked, but I'm worried about whether she's getting proper rest. Sakura, you there? I knock quietly.
Oh, senpai?
I hear a languid voice from the other side of the door.
Oh,
Just a minute, I'll get changed.
she sounds a little panicky. I must have caught her sleeping. About 2 minutes later.
Thank you for waiting. Please come on in.
Ah, okay, pardon me. I was nervous, standing there waiting to enter a girl's bedroom. I've been in this room before, but the situation's different now. Back then, Sakura was unconscious. Now she's inviting me in.
Did something happen? I was taking a nap, so I couldn't hear it.
Oh, nothing like that. I'm not here for any particular reason. I just came to see if you were getting enough rest. But I ended up interrupting her sleep.
Well, I certainly was. I was taking a nice nap.
Yeah, sorry for waking you. You know your own body, and I'm sure you wouldn't force yourself to move around when you have a fever. Looks like I was being overprotective. I'm disappointed in myself. That makes Sakura giggle. Am I overanalyzing you?
No, you're not. You're perceptive. I actually wanted to keep cleaning. If you hadn't come to my room, I probably would have snuck out.
You would have snuck out.
Yes, because I feel fine, so I don't want to stay in bed like a sick person. I was going to try and carry on as usual, even though you told me to rest. But I'm sure that'll make my sister upset too. She'd probably say that I would cause even more headaches for her if I collapsed again.
That's true. After lunch, I stopped Sakura from cleaning the house, but she wouldn't listen to me. I wasn't sure what to do until Tosuka stepped in.
I don't necessarily, like, fully disagree with Bird on this one. Like, on one hand, like, granted, I will say I like Shido and Sakura's couple dynamic. I think it's cute. I think it's nice. Personally, for me, like, when it comes to relationship dynamics between characters, I prefer a little bit more, like, I don't know, like, back and forth, I guess. I kind of... I'm not as into, like, the sweet domesticity sort of thing. I'm a little bit more into the, like... I guess, yeah, kind of like more the Shido and Rin side of, like, you know, people kind of that have a little bit more of a bickering dynamic with each other. I want them to be a little bit more, not like mean to each other necessarily, but challenge each other a little bit more. The really, like, sort of cutesy, like, you know, yeah, like, yeah, I kind of, you know, I like it. I don't think it's bad. I just prefer a little bit more spice, I guess. That's just me, though. Still, she didn't exactly ask nicely. If you faint again, we'll have to kill you. It was an awfully aggressive way to make... Oh, wait, okay, yeah. If you faint again, we'll have to kill you. It was an awfully aggressive way to make her back down. Yeah, Tosuka was mad.
Yep, she sure got upset at me.
Sakura seems happy about it. I see now. Despite her words, she's happy that Tosuka's worried about her. Then make sure you get some rest, alright? Your body's under a lot of strain, no matter how you think you feel. If you rest, then Tosuka and I can rest easy when we head out.
Yeah, but I feel fine, really. I'm just a little off right now. But I'll be okay tomorrow. It's like the cold I had before, so it'll get better overnight.
Silly. I know I interrupted your nap, but go lie back down. You should sleep while you can. I'll come wake you up for dinner, so take it easy till then. I turned to leave, but... I feel Sakura tug on my shirt sleeve. Sakura?
I'll sleep like you said to. But I'd be happy if you stayed here with me.
It's rare for Sakura to ask to be pampered. She usually tries to do everything on her own. Maybe she doesn't want to be a burden to other people. And now she is being a little selfish. No, something like this isn't selfish at all, but from her point of view, she's being very indulgent. That's why she looks so timid as she asks me. I'm willing to do anything she asks, but something like this hardly counts as a favor at all. Sure, I'll stay a little longer. I agree, suppressing the urge to hug her.
Yay! Then I'll make some tea. I have some Chinese tea I was saving for special occasions.
Sakura turns to the bedroom door. Wait, I'll brew the tea, you stay in bed. It'd defeat the whole point of this if you went out there.
You're right. That was silly of me.
Sakura happily gets back into bed. As I walked out, I gave her a gentle pat on the head and went to make tea. Still though, this is more mentally exhausting than I expected. Sakura and I are alone. I mean it though.
I mean it though. I've always known that you like my sister. You look so excited whenever she's around.
Nothing she's saying is entering my brain. If I look at her the wrong way, I won't be able to hold myself back. I'm a guy after all. When I think back to the other night, I immediately want to scoop her up in my arms.
I'm not charming at all compared to her. It seems like you're fond of Ilya too. Do you dislike shy girls?
I take a deep breath and steady myself. I shouldn't do anything too extreme while Sakura's in this state, though I suppose that would help her. So it isn't a bad thing. It isn't bad, but...
Yeah, I think that's definitely an area in which we completely diverge from each other, Philip, because Enemies to Lovers is basically my, like, favorite ship dynamic in a lot of ways. I just find the contrasts between characters and the push and pull, and that sort of repression and realization, and, like, you know, I guess, like, realization of your true feelings in that regard, just a lot more personally compelling, I guess. You know, it's just something that I take a lot of comfort in for personal reasons as well, so.
Oh, right. Tosuka and Ilya are right next door. If we do anything here, they'll know. I'm not ready for the scornful way they'll look at me the next time we're in the living room. Sakura, did I do something to make you upset? I'm pulled back to reality from my daydream when I realize that Sakura is oddly gloomy.
No, you haven't done anything. That's the problem.
Hmm?
Well, I was just talking about some delicate topics, but you weren't listening.
Oh, sorry. I was daydreaming. I think you mentioned Tosuka.
Yes, I did. I said that you looked happy when she decided to sleep over.
Right. I was listening to Sakura talk about our current living situation. What about it, though? You like Tosuka. Aren't you happy she's here?
Yes, I am, but I'm just as anxious, too. Nei-san's everything I aspire to be, and she has so much that I never did. So when she's around me, it's hard to be happy, and I don't want to look her in the eye. It feels like no matter what she or I do, it ends up with her scolding me.
I think I understand. I still have a long way to go, too. If I were suddenly faced with my ideal self, the sight would be too painful and blinding. But even if I can empathize. Sakura, you want to be like Tosuka? I ask her warily. It's the kind of question that would spur Tosuka to knock me out in one punch if she was here.
Yes, I've always wanted to be like her. As a girl, I mean, not a mage. She can do anything. She's always so gallant. I want to be as dashing as she is.
Sakura talks about Tosuka cheerfully. I have mixed feelings about that, but I agree that Tosuka is pretty cool. In fact, I find the way that she owns all of her words and actions to be very handsome. I see. But you haven't really talked to her until now because of that deal the Matos and the Tosukas have. You sure know a lot about her despite that.
Yeah, I mean, how could I contain my curiosity? Neither of us remember much about our childhood days together. It was a long time ago. All I really knew was the fact that we're biological sisters. But I fixated on it and often watched her from afar. I couldn't talk to her, but I heard a lot of rumors about Tosuka-senpai 1 year above me.
You mean that stuff about her being a flawless honor student? She's pretty famous at school now that you mention it.
Yes, so it isn't that I couldn't meet her. She calls out to me fairly often at school, and I've seen her come watch the Kyudo Club too. And every time I would think, it's enough to know that she's watching me, and just knowing she cares makes me happy. I knew that if I'd wished for anything beyond that, she'd end up hating me.
Why would she despise you?
My magecraft is different from my sister's. Magecraft isn't generally limited to a specific purpose, right? Even your magecraft creates phenomena to serve various needs. I don't think it was created for a specific, limited purpose.
Yeah. There's only so much I can do, but I can choose how to use the things I strengthen.
But that's how the Mato's magecraft works. The Mato arts are only useful for taking things away from other people. They don't have any other use. All they do is cause people pain without showing them how to be happy again.
I can't answer that. After all, I don't know what kind of magecraft the Matos taught Sakura. Sakura is ashamed because she feels that she learned magecraft for very nefarious purposes. So the rift between Sakura and Tosuka stems from the magical differences between their families. The more Sakura despises the magecraft she was taught, the worse her guilty conscience gets. Do you dislike your magecraft, Sakura?
Senpai, that's like asking if a person dislikes breathing. I don't like or dislike it, but I can't live without it. It's the entire reason I was adopted into the Mato household. If I'd failed to become their successor, they would have gotten rid of me. Oh, please don't look at me that way. My education was difficult, but it isn't as bad as you think it was. Besides, it wasn't as hard as yours. I can handle getting hurt by others, but I'm afraid of hurting myself. I want to live, so I can't do things that go against that desire. I've come to terms with the fact that I'll die eventually, but the thought of dying at my own hands is terrifying. But you do both of those things. I've seen the kind of training you do at night. I only looked once, okay? I came back to get something I forgot at the house when I heard something in the shed, so I went to look.
Sakura dips her head apologetically, but her apology is just making me uneasy. Oh, you don't have to apologize. I was careless and I should have realized you were there. I'm a failure of a mage for not paying more attention to my surroundings.
It was...
When did that happen, anyway? Was it right after you started coming over? I sure hope it was. I've made a fair bit of progress, even if it was at a snail's pace. If it happened recently and I still couldn't notice her presence, then it would mean that I haven't grown at all since my early days.
It was around summer last year. Miss Fujimura brought watermelons home that day.
Oh, good. I sigh in relief. If it was half a year ago, then that's an excuse I can make. So, what did you think when you saw it? That's the first time someone other than Kiritsugu saw me practicing magecraft. I did a few examples in front of Tosuka the other day, but that was a lot different from my training in the shed. In that sense, hearing Sakura's opinions like having a teacher give me feedback after an exam. She's a Mato mage too, so maybe she'll give me a good score.
I'd like to exercise my right to silence. I'm not my sister, but if I were to assign you a test score, you wouldn't like it.
Ugh. That bad, huh?
There'd be red marks all over your answer sheet.
Oh man. Sometimes you're more like your sister than you think, Sakura.
But senpai, that was the only time I saw you. Which is to say, it isn't that I wanted to stop watching you, but it scared me so badly that I couldn't bear to watch again.
You were too scared to watch?
Yes. And I wanted to stop you so many times. The way you train isn't normal. It was like you were stabbing yourself in the throat. That isn't a metaphor, it's what it actually looked like. That's how dangerous your training seemed to me.
I know what Sakura is trying to say. Every time I manifest my magic circuits, I flirt with death. If my focus slips by so much as a millimeter while I'm wrapping my consciousness around my innards, I could end up blasting them out of my body. But isn't that the price every mage has to pay? My old man said that death would always walk at my side. Yeah, that's what I heard mages are supposed to do. But maybe I'm doing it in a really risky way because I'm too inexperienced.
That's not what I meant. It isn't about your skill level or experience. To begin with, the fact that you can use magecraft at all, even though it isn't in your nature, is what makes you different. Magecraft isn't something you use, but something you teach your body. No normal mage would manifest magic circuits every time they want to use magecraft. I'm talking about the final outcome. Every night you've been killing yourself. Nobody's forcing you, and you aren't even doing it for your own sake. You just stubbornly stuck to that routine all by yourself. I don't even think my sister could bring herself to do that. When you make up your mind, you stick to your decision until the very end, whether it's good or evil. That's why I think you're the strongest person among us.
Wait. It's incredibly embarrassing to hear you say that with a straight face, Sakura. Flattery will get you nowhere, stupid. Tosuka is definitely stronger than me, and I don't know what kind of mage you are, but you're still the Mato heir, and you have Rider.
No, you're strong, senpai. Not because of your magic circuits or your magical affinity, but because you have a pure heart. I've known that ever since we met. I know that you'll never betray anyone or anything.
When she says it that seriously, I can't protest. Thanks. Coming from you, that means a lot, even if it's just flattery. I say what I really feel, even though I'm embarrassed. Sakura smiles, looking right back into my eyes. That was weird formatting there for a second. Uh-oh. If she looks at me that way, it's going to bring back the fantasies I had finally managed to shake off earlier. I should be getting back. You're sleepy, right? And there's still tonight, so you should rest while you can. I awkwardly clear my throat. I try to find a place to point my eyes and settle on the walls separating this room from Tosuka's.
Right, it's still early, and Nei-san's next door.
Tosuka blushes and looks around oh, wait, what? Huh? Oh my god, what is with these fucking typos? Tosuka blushes? Tosuka isn't even fucking here! Jesus, dude! Why is it so bad right now? Sakura blushes. And looks around uneasily too, as if sensing what I'm thinking. I'm sure I'm making the same face. I'll go back to my room now, and I'll come get you when it's dinner time.
Please wait.
Wait? For what?
I'd like it if you stayed here until I fall asleep.
I find myself chuckling as she stutters while trying to ask me for something. I wish I could ask her to do the same for me. Sure, I'll stay if it doesn't bother you. I'll leave once you're asleep, alright?
Okay, of course. I'll do my best to stay awake.
Look, Sakura. I'm happy to hear you say that, but there's no point in me staying here. Once Sakura lies down, she suddenly becomes quiet. She must be really tired. She's passing out as soon as she lies down. But before that happens...
Senpai, I should feel better after resting for a whole day. But how's your arm doing?
She starts talking to me again. I guess she doesn't intend to sleep after all. Aw, baby. My arm's fine. It doesn't hurt as long as I keep this wrap on, and I'm starting to be able to move it little by little. Maybe I can start using it normally tomorrow.
Thank goodness. It's been a long time since Nason treated your arm, right? It was just an emergency measure, so it probably isn't working anymore.
A long time?
You know how she is. It was nice of her to use her magic crest, but all she did was buy you time. She knows it won't even last 7 days.
Sakura's tone is casual, but she said, 7 days? The words sound terribly out of place.
Yeah, it's probably about to run out, so make sure you ask her to follow up. I can't help you with the Mato Magecraft, but Ryder might have some good ideas.
She starts to doze off as she talks. I can't think of anything to say. All I can do is convince myself that she made a mistake because she's falling asleep.
Are you still there, Senpai?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good. Please stay with me.
I
have scary dreams when I'm alone, so please.
Sakura's eyes slowly close. I hear her breathing become slow and steady when she falls into a deep sleep. I turn off the lights and quietly leave the bedroom. Dark, stormy clouds fill my heart in contrast to her tranquil expression.
Please keep an eye on me.
Just as she's about to fall asleep, I can't help but feel that she said that unconsciously. Scary. Oh, hey, interlude time. I'm coming in, Sakura. Who? Oh, wait. Is this, back... yeah, flashback? He opens the door without waiting for a reply. He's never waited for his little sister... Okay, yeah, it's Shinji. In a flashback, I see. He's never waited for his little sister to answer before opening the door. What, she still isn't back yet? What am I gonna do with her? He clicks his tongue and steps into the room. Shinji Mato paces around his sister's room like a blind dog, running his nails along the walls. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it's not a flashback, it's just... I guess... well, it could be? I don't know. It could either be a flashback or it could just be him going to her room and being like, ah, fuck. I'm so mad and angry all the time because I'm Shinji. Sakura, are you in the basement today, too? What are you doing down there without me? Nobody answers his repeated questions. There's no one else in the room. His sister hasn't been back home for the last few days. Shinji keeps pacing around the room even though he knows full well that its resident isn't here. Okay, I think this is probably current then. You're always like that. You're seriously always like that. He picks up a clock and throws it. The sound of the glass breaking irritates him more than he expected. Where'd she go? Keeping secrets from her big brother. He keeps throwing things as if spitting out his anger. That's how this always goes. It's how he compensated on a regular basis for the last few years. It's the greatest act of resistance he can do to forgive himself and his sister, even since learning the truth 3 years ago. When he was born, the Mato bloodline had already outlived its purpose. Their noble line lost its power, and the Matos were reduced to ordinary people. Their only special assets were their knowledge. A once great lineage of arcane scholars met its obscure end in the Orient. He was told those facts even as a child. He was taught the Matos were special, a clan entrusted with miracles. There were no Matos left who could use magecraft, and they would have to live in society as normal people from now on. But he didn't think so. It's true that without magic circuits, or whatever they were called, he couldn't perform magecraft on his own. He knew that the mages died out with his father's generation, and that he wasn't qualified to inherit the Mato name. But the Matos still had records of their miracles. Only their bloodline was over. They still had their wealth of knowledge. To the boy, that was enough to make him special. He wasn't like other people. The Matos were a chosen people. Their worth hadn't diminished just because they lost their magical power and stopped being mages. He was proud to be part of that special family and would live an exceptional life. He might be lacking as a mage, but he was born into a chosen family. That was for sure. One day, a new child came into their fold. His father said that the girl had no next of kin, so they'd be adopting her. It was more than 10 years ago.
From that day forward, the girl named Sakura became his little sister. At first, he didn't like her. He didn't want some foreign element to come into their special family. But as the days passed, he began to approve of her. Sakura was quiet, plain, and little better than a guard dog. Trying to be hostile towards her was a waste of time, so he began to dote on her stupidity to an extent. He buried himself in books, learned arcane arts that he couldn't perform, and thought of himself as the Mato heir. Only he was allowed into the Mato library. His sister was adopted, and she'd never be chosen as the heir, so she had no right to look at those books. Surely she'd live the rest of her life as a normal person, unaware of the Mato's remaining precious knowledge. That notion satisfied his arrogance. Each mage family only has one successor. He knew that, so he never had any doubts that his sister would be cast off and raised separately. Only one of them could learn magecraft, so it was natural that he didn't see her around much. That's right. In fact, he pitied her. They lived in the same house and had the same parents, and yet only he was considered special. He felt sorry for his sister who wasn't chosen. His haughty attitude was the compassion of one who's superior, and of course a source of his self-esteem as a reliable big brother. So, the brother pitied his sister and treated her with affection. His sister never looked him in the eye. He figured she felt ashamed of herself, and so he doted on his helpless little sister. Until the day he learned the truth. That was the only sound he could make when he happened upon that room. A room he never knew about. Wisdom that was never imparted to him, and talents he was never born with. All of that was here, and she was in the middle of the room, surrounded by black, squirming things and their scary grandfather. His father glanced at him with a look of scorn he'd never seen before, as if he was an intruder. It was over. Everything he'd ever believed that he'd constructed in his head was turned upside down. He wasn't the special one. His sister was being kept away. She wasn't the one to feel sorry for. He wasn't the one looking down at her out of pity. His life was transformed. Now that his father didn't need to hide it anymore, he began to interact only with the little sister. His little sister still wouldn't say anything. She just kept staring at the floor like always. With that same attitude that seemed like she wanted to escape his gaze, she said,
I'm sorry, big brother.
She said it with the same sympathy that he once directed at her. He laughed. He guffawed like there was no tomorrow. It was so hilarious he wanted to break everything. The girl he'd thought of as a plaything was the real master, while he was a clown all along. Was he the crazy one or her? Probably both. His life shattered. He went back to the house and realized something. It wasn't as if the world suddenly got turned around. His environment was always this way. The only one who had it backwards, who misunderstood, was himself. He realized how wretched he was. He had it all wrong from the beginning. The next 3 years were nothing but pain for him. His father died, and his grandfather only paid attention to his sister. Shinji Mato was no different from the heir inside the mansion. He was treated like it didn't matter whether he was there or not, and in fact, that's all he was worth. And she sympathized with him. She said sorry. She didn't necessarily say it out loud, but she apologized every time they saw each other. She apologized for taking Shinji Mato's place. What are you apologizing for? She should have just ignored him. Then he would have lost his dignity, and he wouldn't feel any hope. Sakura would apologize. That only made him feel like there was no outlet for everything he was feeling. I'm your kind big brother. Your one and only brother you can count on more than anyone else. In light of his humiliation, surely there was nothing wrong with him treating her this way. She's still at Emiya's place? We're the family heir. Our heir! The great successor to the Mato line! The room shows no signs of being lived in. That went without saying. To Sakura Mato, her only bedroom was that underground nest, while this room was just for appearances. She wouldn't care no matter how much he messed up the room or how many things he broke. It wouldn't change the fact that her name is the one on the door. And you're still going to apologize to me. It's always sorry with you. If you're really sorry, then do what I tell you! You feel guilty? I don't care. If you think of yourself as a Mato at all, then you should be a good little sister and do what your brother says! He tears off the bedsheets. She belonged to him. She never defied him, never thought for herself. She just lived here, so why did she leave him now? You took her from me, Emiya. That was a miscalculation on his part. He knew that she was attracted to Shido Emiya. Before they met, she'd never had any interests, but she started to think like a human being once she met Shido Emiya. Then she gradually recovered her personality until she left Shinji. After all the trouble he went through to act like a nice older brother, how could she go with that stranger Shido Emiya and not him?
I told them so. I said that she shouldn't go to his house, but that geezer said some crap about keeping an eye on the Emiyas.
Her grandfather never made any effort to bring Sakura home after giving the order. He just said to let her be and even warned Shinji to restrain himself.
Just you watch. I'll pay you back for this, Emiya. I'll rip you apart while Sakura watches.
That's right. If Sakura was going to leave him, then he'd just force her back into their old relationship. If she was going to leave the Mato family for him,
We could just go back to being the way we used to be.
he cackles, his reflection in the cloudy windows as ghastly as a skull. Ugh. Oh, Shinji. So, of the few spoilers or like things about the story that I know, one of them relates to, I'm guessing, that scene, more so in what this version of the scene does not say. I'm sure that if Philip or somebody else in the chat who's read Fate before is here to clarify if they can confirm that for me. I suspect that's probably where we would have learned that information in the original. It's not said here. It's said the next time we see Shinji. Okay, then I guess I'll probably save talking about that for then, because I feel like that's something that's kind of unavoidable in bringing it up, even though I generally tend not to mention version differences between the remastered version and the original when it comes to content like that. I think that's one thing in particular that I can't get around mentioning to some extent, because I feel like it's just kind of, I don't know, it feels like a piece of information that might need to be known. But yeah. I'll mention it then when the next Shinji thing happens, I guess. It's evening now. Tosuka seems busy and Sakura is asleep, so I'll make dinner. My left arm can move, albeit slowly, so it shouldn't stop me from cooking simple meals. I can deep fry the marlin and make beef stew with the rest. I check what we have in the refrigerator and decide on tonight's menu. With 2 new mouths to feed, our ingredients go quickly. I'll have to make some time tomorrow to go downtown for groceries. Thanks for the meal! Everyone seems excited to see that dinner is ready and waiting for them in the living room. I wonder where Ryder is, but she likely has her reasons for being absent. Ryder's priority is to protect Sakura. Maybe she doesn't want to have too much contact with Tosuka, who could become an enemy. Hope Ryder comes down here to eat later. If she doesn't come over, I'll pack a meal and bring it to her later. She doesn't seem like being around other people, so she's probably in the shed or the dojo. So this is what you're good at making. Does Sakura specialize in Western food while you do Japanese? Tosuka looks at me with surprise and she munches on the fried fish. I fried the marlin fillets golden brown and made an elegant soy sauce marinade that brings out the fragrance of ginger. Tosuka seems really fond of it. That sounds really fucking good, actually. Goddamn, you're kind of gonna make me hungry. Oh, man.
I like this one. I love that you're so good at cooking, Shido.
Next to her, Ilya is enjoying a mouthful of savory sweet beef stew. It's too bad that I didn't have any potatoes on hand, but I'm glad that she likes it. But Sakura is holding her chopsticks, looking confused. Sakura? What's wrong? You don't have an appetite?
I do, but, senpai? Did you put sugar in this stew? Tastes strange.
Did I really make such a rookie mistake with beef stew of all things? Crap, hang on. I taste the beef stew from the pot in the middle of the table. That's odd. This is how I always season it. Sakura, what's strange about it?
Did you maybe mix up the sugar and salt?
I can't taste the... Did you maybe mix up the sugar and the salt? I can't taste the sweetness at all.
Really? Isn't it supposed to taste like this? Unless there's some secret ingredient that makes this one different from the rest, I don't think I could make it as good as this.
I don't know what it's supposed to taste like, but it's yummy. It's just sweet enough and easy to eat.
Sakura pokes at her beef stew with a puzzled expression. She takes one bite, and a second, then a third. Sakura?
Huh? Oh, I think I just ate a part that wasn't seasoned as evenly. Sorry for being weird. Your cooking tastes good, senpai.
She laughs and resumes eating. Sakura moves her chopsticks as if nothing happened. I got a little nervous when she started looking off, but then she regained her spirits. With gusto, she even asked for a third helping. Tosuka watched in surprise as Sakura kept eating with delight until we completely finished all of the food and rice.
I think she is compensating. What's going on, Sakura?
It's after 10 p.m. now.
It's time. We should go, Shiro.
Tosuka appears, ready to leave. I know. Take care of the house, Sakura. Tosuka and I will go out on patrol, as planned. It sounds stupid to think that we can fight back against Zoken by patrolling the town, but that's all we can do at the moment. The enemies we have to beat are Zoken, Assassin, Saber, and that mysterious Shadow. To be honest, there's no way we can beat them in a straight fight. I just have to be patient while Tosuka comes up with countermeasures. Despite that, we can't stay cooped up in the house. As the news said this morning, Zoken has started attacking civilians. We might not be able to beat him now, but I don't think it's a waste to try and prevent more people from falling victim. I put on my shoes without saying anything. Both of us know how dangerous it is to go out at night. Even if Zoken is only after Sakura, he might consider it a nuisance if we're walking around town. In the worst case, what happened in the forest might happen again. The thought doesn't make me very talkative.
Hey, what's your problem?
And then, I'm not in the mood even for a serious talk, but I look up to see Tosuka staring at me.
If you're just seeing us off, that's fine. Behave and go back to your room, Sakura.
Staring through me, to be exact. She's glaring at Sakura, who's standing in the hallway.
Nei-san, I think I should go with you after all. It's too dangerous out there for the two of you alone.
Sakura. So that's why she's here. I appreciate the sentiment, but we have to stick to the plan.
No. You know that Zoken is after you. You need to stay here with Ilya and protect yourselves.
I know that, but...
Oh wait, okay, that was Shiro. No, you know that Zoken is after you. You need to stay here with Ilya and protect yourselves.
I know that, but you can't move one of your arms, and Nei-san doesn't have a servant anymore, so...
Cut the crap, Sakura. You're still our enemy. I can't trust someone that might turn into Zoken's puppet at any second to watch my back.
But Nei-san...
You just need to protect yourself. If you feel bad for us at all, then don't create more work for us by pulling something like this. You just need to have Ryder protect yourself and Ilya.
Tosuka, you don't have to...
Hey! Come on, get your head in the game. There might be new victims while we stand around talking.
Tosuka grabs my hand and pulls me out of the house.
Anyway, be careful, Sakura. Take care of Ilya.
Hey, Tosuka, hold on! I'm coming with you, so let go of my hand.
It's your fault for taking your sweet time.
Tosuka releases my hand and stops power walking.
What? If you have something to say, say it.
She's being like this now, all rushed and weirdly belligerent. Good grief. If you're that self-conscious about it, you don't need to use that tone with her, idiot. Fine, I'll say it. Don't be so hard on Sakura. She didn't ask to be in this situation.
I know that, but I had to be firm with her. If she doesn't commit to this, it will make her easier for Zoken to exploit. I'm not sympathizing with Sakura. I had nothing to do with her being Zoken's puppet or being adopted by the Matos. That's her own problem, and I can't fix any of that just by talking about it.
Tosuka.
I'm only at that house because of you, not Sakura. Got that? My goal is to get the Holy Grail, not save her. To do that, I need to keep an eye on Sakura, even if she hates me for it. That's why I talked to her that way, and I'm going to keep treating her as my enemy.
So you don't care if she hates you? Because you're total strangers?
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Of course I do, stupid. That's so like Tosuka. She's normally so bold and decisive, but right now I can see her clenching her fist and trying her best to convince herself. Alright, that's how you want to play this, then go ahead. No matter how you decide to act, Sakura knows how you really feel.
What do you mean, how I really feel?
How much you care about her, I mean. If even an outsider like me can notice it, then Sakura sees right through you.
You don't understand.
I do understand. People don't feel sincere anger for someone they don't care about. That's why you're stern with her, right? You don't say it out loud, but you think of her as your precious little sister.
You don't know what you're talking about! Stop pushing my buttons like that, you dummy!
Tosaka's so angry she becomes red in the face, but it doesn't have its usual impact, which tells me enough. What? Am I bugging you?
Obviously.
Okay, then let me bug you with this. I want you and Sakura to get along. Sakura likes you, and you like her too. So I don't like seeing the two of you act the way you did earlier.
You know, I did say that she's my enemy. That won't change just because I'm nice to her. To begin with, how are we supposed to be friends after all this time?
Just keep doing what you've been doing. Have some faith in yourself, Tosaka. I think you're being a good big sister.
We're wasting time. Let's go to the crime scene we saw on the news.
Tosaka spins on her heel and stomps off. I follow her with an absent-minded, sure. But then,
Shiro.
she says my name without looking at me.
Thanks. That made me happy.
And grumbles, embarrassed. There's no one at the Central Park. It isn't particularly crowded even during the day, and now it's extra quiet after last night's murders. The park wasn't built as a place to rest between the office buildings. It's no different from an undeveloped wasteland.
Murders, huh? They are treating it as an accident. Well, it's hard to tell because they don't know exactly who died or where the bodies are, but it's suspicious that they're calling them murders. Murders, not murderers, Jesus.
There are still bloodstains on the grass. Quite a lot of blood spilled in 4 separate areas. There's some distance from the blackened ground, probably because the victims tried to run away. Tosaka, you said that Zoken didn't do this, but what do you think now? Has your impression changed now that we're here?
Let me think. I thought the shadow did this, but now I'm not so sure. Whenever it shows up, it sucks in all the mana around it, but this place isn't dry of mana. I still think that whatever happened, there was an unplanned meal, though.
That's all we managed to learn from the scene. We leave the site of the tragedy. We don't find anything else of note in Shinto. Given how conspicuous last night's incident was, it's possible that Zoken's group is trying to keep a low profile tonight. It's almost midnight. Tosaka and I head home, feeling a cool breeze from the riverbank. I ask her a question on the way. Tosaka, Sakura is the successor to the Matos, right? I've been curious about something for a while.
Why are you asking now? It's not a secret anymore.
No, I mean, if she's their successor, that means she's a mage. I was wondering what kind of magecraft she uses.
Oh, that. Well, I've heard that the Matos use magecraft related to binding and compulsion. The command spells wouldn't exist without them.
So does Sakura's magecraft have something to do with restraints? But that would mean that day. The magecraft that Sakura unleashed when the Crestworms were attacking her must have been Ryder's power.
I don't think so. That was a Makiri spell, but not the kind of magecraft they specialize in. There's no point in thinking about it anyway. Sakura doesn't have the magical energy to power magecraft. The Crestworms eat her extra energy, so she shouldn't be able to cast any magecraft.
Okay, good. But how strong is she from your perspective? Are you on the same level since you're both family heirs?
She has about the same number of magic circuits as me. Did you forget that we're actual sisters?
Oh, right, now that she mentions it. That's why the Matos adopted her to begin with. So, she's as strong as you are?
I'm not sure. I can use the 5 great elements, but while she was apparently born with an affinity for imaginary elements, she's water-aligned now, so they must have forced that onto her. What do you think would happen if you forced a bird that flies in the air to swim in the ocean?
It would die, or...
Yeah, it'd take everything just to adapt to being underwater. She would have been successful as a Tosaka, but after what the Matos did to her, she's no different from you. No, you're actually a lot stronger than her because you're physically trained.
So, hypothetically, if you two got into a magical duel,
I'd win 10 times out of 10. Sakura doesn't have the magical energy capacity to pierce my defenses.
I see. I don't know what kind of magecraft Sakura can use, but her power dynamic with Tosaka is clear. Tosaka isn't the type to brag, so she's probably just stating the facts. This is embarrassing. I never even knew Sakura was a mage, and I don't know how skilled she is. I feel pretty stupid calling myself her protector.
You know, the crestworms are constantly feeding on her magical energy. You can't even tell she's a mage up close. Plus, she's been trying her best to hide it from you, so whatever you do, don't bring this up in front of her.
Yeah, don't need to tell me twice. Even if Sakura is a mage, she's still Sakura. I'm not sophisticated enough to play games with her anyway. No matter who she is, all I can do is treat her the same way I always have. Yeah, if you think so, then I'll keep treating her the same way. I just won't ask for her help as a mage. That's okay, right?
Of course. And if you ever do, I'll take her back to my house instead.
The way she says it so gently with a smile makes my heart skip a beat. See? You're a great big sister, Tosuka.
I guess that wouldn't work, though. She only smiles when she's at your place. That was what surprised me the most yesterday.
That was a surprise? The thought seems to make Tosuka so happy. What do you mean she smiled? That's how she always is.
Yeah, I was always worried about that. You know, I don't talk to her much, so I try to look out for her whenever I can. She's been hanging around the Kyudo Club ever since we ended up in the same school.
Yeah, I know that.
And after a while, I noticed something. She never smiles.
That sounds pretty believable, even though I'm only hearing it for the first time. Now that I think about it, Sakura is always pretty gloomy at school.
But even that's different when you're around. She'd always smile when you came to visit the club, meaning that she's only ever happy when Chidoemiya is with her.
Tosuka's saying something that should make me happy. Somehow, Sakura doesn't smile in front of other people. I feel like I just learned a terrible truth about her. It's past 1 in the morning by the time I'm back in my bedroom. I plopped down on my futon. Tonight's patrol was fruitless. All we learned was that the story on the morning news was true. The enemy I have to defeat. To be honest, when I think about that thing I'll have to fight eventually, it gives me chills and makes me want to vomit. Zoken and Assassin are opponents that a human can still fight, but the other two aren't. I'm not even sure if the shadows can die. As for Saber, I don't have a chance in hell of beating her. But now that innocent people are dying, it doesn't matter whether I can win or not. Archer's arm, huh? I touched the red cloth around my left arm. I do have a weapon. I don't know how well it will work, but it's still a weapon. The question is whether I can master it, and whether I'll be able to survive using it. Just a little should be okay, right? I unwrap the red cloth. My blood starts to flow as soon as I loosen the binding. Oh, sorry, 1 second.
Suddenly, I feel like I hear a beast howling. Something stabs me. It's stabbing me throughout my body. Is this pain? If it is, then no pain I've ever felt before counts as pain anymore.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
The uneven tatami. My bed's softness hurts me. I feel like I'm sitting on a hill of swords. The air is toxic, and if I die 3 times from breathing it, a bird chirps in the distance. The wind is strong. There's no humidity. My skin dries out and turns to sand. It flows and sloughs away. I crumble away. Hot stakes stab through the exposed holes. 32 of them through my shoulder. Each of them delicately, meticulously, excellently, precisely skewers my internal jugular vein, trachea, spinal cord, sympathetic nerves, bilateral, upper, middle, and lower lobes, aorta, heart, diaphragm, spleen, stomach, liver, and all 8 sections of my large intestine. Crumbling. Time slows at a frightening pace. I watch 60 trillion cells crumble at the rate of 340 per second. There is no pain. There is no pain. There is no pain. There is only terror. The credits roll, invading with astonishing speed. The flashback stops on a maniacal image. The death to come, the death in the past, the death happening now. The pain isn't physical pain, but a burst of rejection each time death strikes me. I hear a noise. I'm on my knees. It's the sound of my head hitting the floor. My eyes are hot. I realize I've been crying. I desperately stop a scream from escaping my throat. I curl up into a ball, tuck my head into my stomach, and clutch my left arm in my right hand, weeping. I'm scared. I haven't...
Felt this since the fire 10 years ago.
I'm scared.
It's the dread that every living creature feels.
I'm scared.
First time in my life I want to escape my own doom.
I don't reject death because it hurts, nor because I want to live. It just scares me. I tie the red cloth back on. I knot it over and over so that it will never come loose again.
I can't. I just can't.
I was sobbing. Priest said I'd die if I used my left arm. That's bullshit. I'll die if I even take off this shroud. My body might be able to take it, but my mind will go first. Even slightly loosening it and exposing the skin to the air was enough of a mental ordeal. If I couldn't even endure that, then I can't possibly live without the shroud. No. If this arm is a contradictory thing that no one should touch, then it's too late. My body's already a train on an abandoned and condemned railroad track running to its final stop, a ship with a crack in its hull sinking into the ocean depths with no one to save it. Only the passengers are unaware, and by the time they notice, it's already too late. My breathing is ragged. I was having a bad dream.
I wipe sweat from my forehead. I can't even stand up. I just stay curled up, bearing this pain I don't understand in my head. I don't understand. I can't remember. My left arm hurts. It hurts so bad I wish I didn't have a left arm. I try to remember why it hurts so much, but I can't remember how I was feeling just a second ago. The pain recedes. I manage to bundle up my disjointed mind. It must have been because I was sleeping. My scattered memories feel like chopped onions that cook nicely should cook nicely if I organize them. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. See, add a drizzle of soy sauce for color, some pepper for flavor, and a pinch of potato starch to bring the mess all together. Oh, that sounds gross. I mumble absently. My useless head that only knows how to help other people so much it's a nuisance comes up with one conclusion. I don't have to eat something that doesn't look tasty. I lost it already. It doesn't make sense to rely on something that isn't there. Therefore, Shidoemiya has no weapon. He has to suppress this alien thing as long as he lives, and it'll taint him for the rest of his life. It's futile to restrain it with this cloth. There's only one way to truly escape this poison. Just cut it off. I know that, but I can't bear to let it go. The muzzle of a gun points at my temple. I imagine its trigger. The left arm is the trigger. Once I pull it, it will operate as designed and blow my brains out. I'm trembling. In the dim light, I hold my breath and stare at the blank wall. I hold my left arm tight again and fall back down. Just cut it off. I close my eyes. I stifle my pathetic moans. It's time to sleep so I can be rested tomorrow. I hear a small noise. I wake up to the sound of footsteps in the wooden hallway. I wake up my hazy mind. It isn't quite 2 a.m. Less than 30 minutes have passed since I went to bed. I squirm out of my futon, unconsciously holding my left arm. Sakura. She's outside my room. I call out to the source of the noise outside my door. I didn't sense her outside. I just had a feeling that she was there. The door slides open. Sakura dreamily steps into my room. She stares at the ground, biting her lip in shame, unsure what to say.
Sorry, Senpai. I still...
She apologizes to me, as if blaming herself. But I should be the one apologizing. I know full well why she's here. It's the pain of her body panting in thirst.
I should have gone straight to you as soon as I got back.
Oh, what? I should have gone straight to you as soon as I got back. Sorry for making you suffer. I stand up. Even if I apologize, I can't be forgiven for getting so wrapped up in my left arm that I forgot about Sakura's condition.
Senpai?
I know. If you're ready, we can start right away. Sakura nods, blushing. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, but maybe Sakura sees the act of drinking blood as something immoral.
But,
She looks down with a troubled expression. Oh, right. We can't get anything done this way. She bit my finger before, but we can share my blood a smarter way this time. Hold on. I think it's in my desk. I stand up and go to the desk. Suddenly, my left arm moves.
Senpai? Are you okay?
It's nothing. I just got a little dizzy when I stood up. Damn, I'm pathetic. As soon as I used my left arm, I remembered my earlier pain. It doesn't hurt as long as I keep the cloth on, so what am I afraid of? And here it is. With my right hand, I rummage around in the desk drawer and pull out a box cutter. I extend the blade and make sure it isn't chipped or dull. If Sakura isn't going to bite me, then I need to draw blood myself. This would be easier if I had a syringe or some tubing, but unfortunately I don't. So the fastest way to draw blood would be to cut myself.
Wait, are you?
My right hand holds the box cutter. My left hand's wrapped in the cloth surrounding my left arm. I'm doing something foolish. If I'm holding the cutter in my right hand, that means I'd have to cut my left, but if I hurt that much after just loosening the cloth, cutting it clearly is out of the question. Still, my left hand isn't dexterous enough to make short, precise movements without holding anything thin. I consider what to do next.
I hear the echoes of a howl. It tells me that it still isn't too late, that this arm is too heavy a burden to bear. Think, remember how much you suffered from just loosening the cloth. It isn't too late. You have a blade. It's going to keep invading your body for the rest of your life, and it'll be a constant struggle to keep it in check. You'll have to live with it, never knowing when the bomb you're carrying might go off. So you might as well take that knife and cut off the timer at least.
I freeze, still holding the box cutter. I told myself I wouldn't have any more doubts, but they were all resurrected as soon as I picked up this blade. My heart beats a cold and mechanical rhythm, and my eyes lose focus.
Senpai?
Her voice breaks me out of my chains. I put down the knife and take a deep breath. Sorry. I was thinking. It doesn't matter now, so don't worry about it.
Okay, but you look pale.
It's just an upset stomach. No big deal compared to what you're dealing with. Hang on. I can make a small wound like this. I slightly move the box cutter. The pain's just a slight pinch. No big deal. Oh, there. That should work. Blood leaks out, brighter than I expected. Now Sakura can... I drop the box cutter. Sakura stares at my wound, at the red liquid trickling down my arm. She's wearing a slack expression. It's like she was never scared to begin with. Her eyes look like she's in a trance. Her lips are half parted, and her pale throat gulps with desire. She gets on all fours and crawls over my futon toward me. She reminds me of a graceful four-legged beast. Sakura. I don't know how to react to this sudden change. I just extend my arm, blood dripping from its wrist, to Sakura. A drop of blood falls from my fingertip. It falls on her soft, wet lips. Her tongue flicks out, lapping up each drop. Spellbound, Sakura licks my finger. I feel the smooth texture of her tongue on my finger, but don't even notice the pain. It's happening again. That irresistible feeling is coming.
It tastes good, Senpai.
Sakura looks beautiful and bewitching as she licks my arm. Her scent enters my mind and arouses me. Any fear she showed earlier is long gone. The Windows Movie Maker wipe? Sorry. It's like she's licking honey. Her lips draw closer to the cut. They cover the wound which had been leaking blood. I'm struck by indescribable pleasure. My shoulders go so limp I think my arms might fall off. It's an enchanting sweetness, unlike when she was only licking me. I grip my teeth, keeping my voice down. My blood is taken and pleasure flows into its place. The pain of the wound is hazy and I can barely even register what's happening to my right arm. Sakura sucks on my arm, draining it dry. I know she's doing it to recover her magical energy, but it's so sweet. Even her murmuring voice resonates with my nerves. The ecstasy of having my blood sucked reaches my shoulder, and the discomfort and fear of my left arm is drowned out by the pleasure in my right. Sakura. Before I know it, I'm embracing her. I use the arm that Sakura is sucking on to pull her in and hold her against my chest. Sakura continues slaking her thirst, savoring my blood. Slaking? I don't know that I've ever heard that before.
Senpai. My senpai.
More than her soft body, I'm drunk on the touch of her lips on my arm, on the honeyed pleasure of being drained. An indescribable impulse rises in my chest. I want to hug Sakura until she breaks. She sucks it all up. The sensation of having not just my blood, but my vitality sucked away as well. In my pleasure-dyed, hazy mind. I feel like this reminds me of something. It doesn't matter. I don't care about those misgivings.
Your wound is...
How long did we stay like this? Sakura reluctantly pulls her lips from my arm. My head feels heavy. It still feels like Sakura is sucking on me. It's like my mind is floating in the air. Still, I try to see if Sakura is okay.
Thank you for the meal, senpai.
Sakura drops her gaze apologetically. Then I feel the last drop of tension leave me, as if I've used up all of my magical and physical strength. The lights go off in my head with a zap. I can't think about what comes after. I can't remember Sakura's gentle touch on my arm or the pleasure of having my blood drained. It's just like giving my blood to Sakura was just a dream. I fall into a deep slumber. My thoroughly exhausted body forgets it all, how Sakura treated my cut and went back to her room, the anxiety lingering in the back of my mind, everything that's happened today. Tonight, I fall back into the light sleep I was in 1 hour ago. It is in a sea of red. Water covers the familiar landscape, making the town seem like a fish tank. There's no air. Each time it breathes, something dark coils in its throat. It craves oxygen, but the harder it tries to breathe, the more the heavy air fills its lungs like water. So it's not different from being in the ocean. It pants, feeling suffocated. It was meant to live on land. It wasn't born in the sea. Seeking to exit the water, it climbs toward the highest place in town. Still, it feels breathless. Looking down at the vast cityscape, its throat burns due to lack of oxygen, and its suffering causes it to despise the peacefully sleeping city.
Can't breathe, can't breathe, can't breathe.
There is no air here. There's no pain here.
Can't breathe, can't breathe, can't breathe, can't breathe.
It's dragging something. The body is bewitchingly slippery and colorful.
Can't breathe, can't breathe. Not enough, can't breathe.
Dark hands gather several corpses. Crooked hands squeeze several corpses.
Not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough.
The squishing noise, something splashes all over it. It lacks oxygen. It's hard to breathe oxygen. The water pressure doesn't care. The water pressure is unbearable. Flowing liquid covers its body. Most likely it believes that this is the waterproof suit it needs to survive in this ocean.
It reaches out with its warped hands. Moonlit dark hands become a giant shadow descending to crush a part of the town.
She wakes from her sleep. She gasps for air. Aghast at the shockingly realistic dream, she hugs her burning hot body. Suddenly, she feels something wet. Both of her hands are covered in dark red. She shuts her eyes and thrusts her hands away from herself. When she warily opens them again, her hands are clean. Even if it was just a hallucination, she can't stop shaking. She trembles with fear, shuddering like a broken machine. The shaking might cause the rattling bolts in her ears to fall out.
She imagines all of her insides falling out one by one until she's lost too many parts to move anymore. The visual terrifies her so badly she can't stop shaking.
My face. That's right, I need to wash my face.
She goes to the bathroom. She can't take more than a few steps. Her trembling limbs won't obey her. She nearly falls over, bracing herself on a desk. Her vision's hazy. She can't walk to the door or even see it clearly. She can't remember what she was just dreaming about or why she got out of bed. She's breaking. She can't remember anything. She can't think of anything. All she feels is desire and hunger. All she wants are warm bodies and kind, gentle words. She slumps against the desk, shaking her head. She's filled with fear and boundless self-loathing. Something is wrong with her. She knows something is wrong with her. Why isn't it enough? She got more just a few hours ago, but it isn't enough at all. She was so happy, thinking there must be no greater joy on earth, so why isn't it even close to enough? It must be because of how hollow and empty she is. That's why he isn't enough to fill her up. But she doesn't want anyone else to fill her up. That's why she wanted to keep becoming his, forever and ever. She thought it'd be fine if time, if her feelings, if other people, if it all went away, so why didn't she make it happen? It's so mysterious, but she can't help not knowing why, and so she naturally thought that it might be able to do it for her. She's giddy. It isn't some strange delusion. Just for an instant, she thought that sounded fun. And that terrifies her. She steadies herself on the table. Her body feels like it's about to fall apart, but she hangs on. Day by day, the scary dreams are becoming clearer. Day by day, the scary dreams stop being scary. That's why she's starting to break. Until now, it was only her body. But now her mind is starting to go. She mumbles and weeps, biting her lip. It's fine if her memories are vague. She doesn't need to remember what happened a few hours ago. Her limbs won't listen to her. She isn't afraid of falling asleep forever. But she doesn't want to stop being herself. She doesn't want to be a bad person. She'll keep going crazy bit by bit until she finally snaps. Once that happens, she's sure that she'll be the greatest cause of his suffering. She's afraid of that. She's afraid of going crazy. It terrifies her more than anything else so far. If she loses it, he won't touch her anymore. He won't love her anymore. They won't be able to be together anymore, and she won't even know when they are. That's not all. If she goes insane, he'll be with some other woman. She doesn't want that, not at all. She always thought that he deserved someone better, but now she can't allow it to happen. After all, he already belongs to her. So she's afraid of not knowing what she'll do once it happens. She knows how bad things are, and there's no way out. She can't tell anyone about her problem. If she does, she'll just end up back in the cold place she was before. She can't go back there, now that she's known warmth. She wants more. To be here with him and smile at him. She knows full well that she'll lose if this goes on. Her wish is a simple desire. For her own happiness, she has to ruin the one and only person who wants her to become happy. If she can't do that, then she'll just keep breaking where no one can see her. If she's going to go crazy anyway, then she might as well disappear now and turn into a monster while no one else is around. Surely that's the right choice. But she clings to it. Because she's warm. Because she's happy. Because she wants more. Why me, she wonders. Why is she the only one who has to be cut off from such simple wants? No. No, no, no! She shakes off her weakness. She isn't jealous. She doesn't resent anyone. She defends herself. She just wants a little more time.
No, this isn't me.
She shakes her head in denial. In her empty head, she covers her dark heart. There's no off-ramp to happiness on this road. She turns away from an answer she already knows. Her clouded mind has long since fallen into a nightmare. She forces herself to stop wishing for someone to help her. She just keeps crying alone. God. Poor fucking Sakura, dude. Her inner monologue parts are very well written. Again, Nasu kind of flexing on the horror angle. Sorry to derail, but are you gonna go a bit longer to make up for the late start? I'm gonna try to go like at least a tiny bit. Yeah, probably. Maybe like a half hour more or so.
than I was planning, but we'll see. It kind of just depends. Okay, and on that note, actually, I'm going to take a quick BRB to go to the bathroom and do a couple other things real quick. So I'll be back in just a few. Thank you for hanging in there. my god. Oh, I might also dip back out in a little bit because I had to refill the actual whatchamacallit, the water filter. Um so I actually couldn't get any water. So I just went to the bathroom instead. But yeah, I might pop back out in a little while to grab some water once it has some time to sit in the fridge for a little bit. Morning. Slowly, my mind. Morning. Slowly, my mind wakes up and I sluggishly sit up. The clock reads after 8 o'clock. God damn. That's like stutter with the music and like the, oh man, that was good. Jesus. I'm late. Okay, I'm not exactly late since I'm not going to school, but I definitely overslept. Oh no, I need to bring breakfast. I get up and change. While changing from my pajamas to my regular clothes, I'm forced to look at my left arm whether I like it or not. I try lifting my left arm during my morning stretches. No problem here. I can lift it up to shoulder level exactly as I intend. It's improving day by day. I still can't feel anything through it, but at this rate, by tomorrow it should...
What are you doing, Shido? Breakfast is already over.
Huh? Wait, what? Ilya is in front of me. I meant to go to the living room, but I somehow ended up in the shed.
Did you hear me, Shido? I asked what you're doing here.
Yeah, I heard you. Morning, Ilya. Funny running into you here. My answer sounds absurd even to me. I must not be fully awake yet.
Shido, are you not feeling well?
No, I'm fine. I'm still just a little sleepy. Hold on. I shake my head. I'm still physically exhausted, but the drowsiness is gone. There. To answer your question, I'm not here for any particular reason. I just took a wrong turn while I was half asleep.
Okay, well, come to the living room. I'll make you breakfast.
Ilya cheerfully runs back into the yard. It's a clear day. The sky is a bright blue, washing away yesterday's gloom. I take a deep breath, filling my lungs with comfortably cool air. Did Ilya say she's making breakfast? She did. The first thought that comes to my now operational mind is her last remark. Ilya's breakfast. I'm looking forward to it, but the notion makes me very uneasy. I can say with confidence that Ilya's never been in the kitchen before, much less picked up a chef's knife. I should probably go supervise her. I head toward the living room, feeling the prickly grass beneath my feet. I'm shocked again. Talk about sleepwalking. What was I thinking coming out here barefoot? I arrive in the living room almost 4 minutes later, after taking the time to clean the dirt off my feet.
Oh, senpai.
I nearly bump into Sakura while I enter the living room.
Drunk-sama with the 5. Heading to my local anime con in the AM, so going to bed early, but looking forward to watching this later. I assume we are having a normal time. Oh yeah, exceedingly normal. Totally normal. Nothing to worry about, definitely. Nothing bad. Thank you. And have fun at the con. I haven't been to a con in a hot minute. I would like to go to a con again sometime soon, if possible.
Morning, Sakura. Sorry about this morning. I overslept until after 8. Sakura stares at me. I wonder if she didn't hear me. Sakura? I reach out to her thinking her fever might have come back, but...
Good morning, senpai.
She greets me at full volume, making my concern unwarranted. Hey, you're in good spirits this morning. Does that mean your body's feeling better?
Yes, thanks to you, I'm full of energy. Because you gave me some of yours.
Sakura speaks haltingly. I'm glad she's upbeat, but the fact that she doesn't look calm makes me worried too. What's wrong, Sakura? Being kinda weird. What do you mean I gave you some of my energy?
Last night. In your bedroom.
She trails off. Sakura mumbles bashfully. Oh, now I remember. How could I forget? Last night...
I held Sakura. Or rather, she embraced me. Heat suddenly rises to my head. It instantly reaches boiling point, as if all of my blood below my neck was pumped there. Sakura, last night that really happened, right? It wasn't a dream? Blushing and with an expression that seems to blame me somehow, she nods. Tilde, 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 tilde. Wow. Just when I thought my face couldn't get any hotter, it does. Meaning that last night... Shiroemiya's rational mind labeled everything that happened as a dream and filed it away. Wait, not that. Sakura, I'm sorry about that. I clumsily apologized to her, holding my dizzy head in my hand.
Yes, but I was happy, Senpai.
Her shy smile's like a mortal blow to the heart. She got me. She's so lovely. I want to hug her again right now. If Ilya wasn't around and I didn't hear the TV on in the living room, then...
Shido, breakfast is ready.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is Ilya. If Ilya hadn't chimed in right on cue, I might have charged straight into super mushy mode again. Anyway, I'm here to eat breakfast. Let's talk later. I make a sharp turn like a robot and head for the living room. I desperately move my sluggish arms and legs, taking control of my mind and driving the desire into a corner of it.
Here's your breakfast.
Ilya thrusts a plate at me as soon as I enter the living room. Arranged on it are a black piece of toast, soft-looking sunny-side-up eggs, and a neatly cut tomato. Thanks. I accept it, still feeling dizzy, take my usual place at the dining table and bite into the crunchy toast. The toast aside, she did a good job on the eggs. I wonder if she learned by watching or if Sakura and Tosuke taught her. Anyway, I'd better give her full marks for the first attempt. It's good. I kept chewing on the toast. Ilya watches me eat, looking neither proud nor ecstatic, just satisfied. I avoid saying the toast has the texture of charcoal, wouldn't want to ruin the mood. Because it actually does taste good. Everyone has their own preferences. Some people happen to like their toast black and hard.
Oh, come on. Eating burned food like that's bad for you.
Fool. Whether it's rice or bread, it's always nice to have a dark crust.
Hey, Emiya, did you hit your head?
It's good, really. It's okay to be a bit rough with cooking.
You really must still be half asleep. This is no time to be so carefree, you know.
Tosuke looks at the TV. It's on and playing the news. Am I having deja vu? The story they're talking about should have happened a long time ago. Suddenly, my sluggish mind kicks back into gear. I read the captions on the screen.
Comas in Shinto last night in the early dawn. People lost consciousness and didn't wake up. It's believed to have had the same cause as the mass poisonings that happened recently, but something is different about them. They were affected in the area 50 meters wide. It had only happened with a single building or so before, but the radius of this latest incident was dramatically wider.
But that isn't the problem. At the end of the news report, the number of victims is listed. 3 digits worth of people in the hospital and people missing, too. Tosuke, this is...
Yeah, 14 missing people. Sure, that number will go up the more they investigate, but it looks like about 1/10 of the total victims were completely consumed.
My mind freezes. Unconsciously. Get it? I don't know if Zoken or the Shadow is behind this, but either way, the number of victims is on a whole new level.
At this rate, they might eat a whole city block in a few days.
I squeeze my left arm tightly. Tosuke, are the people who were missing dead? I confirm with her. Without saying anything, she looks away and nods.
Conversation's over. I know how you feel, but you can feel guilty later. They're starting to do whatever they want in the city because they can't come directly after us. They're getting sloppy because they don't see us as a threat. So there's only one thing to do while they're underestimating us.
Tosuke quietly stands up. Her destination is clear. Without beckoning me to come along, she's headed for the dojo.
I'll get right to the point. How does your arm feel, Shido?
Tosuke launches straight into business as soon as we enter the dojo. Let me see. I can move it like a normal arm now, but that isn't what you're asking, is it?
Yeah, I only want to know whether you can comprehend it as Archer's arm yet. Ilya watches us both, saying nothing. I can claim without a doubt that Tosuka has no idea what this arm really is. She doesn't know the terror it made me feel last night. She doesn't know that taking off the cloth will be the end of me. She doesn't know that merely exposing its skin, never mind using Archer's power, will destroy Shido Emiya's body. I remember the sensation. Inescapable death. The claustrophobic feeling of being buried alive. Having my world/emptiness painted over by something alien to me, and watching that world shrink as I meet a silent, absolute end. The mere taste of that memory makes the thought replay in my shuddering head. I can't use this arm. If I do, I'll die. My death will be all but certain without a miracle to save me.
It's been a day since I implanted my magic crest in you. How does it feel? It should be working a little now. Come on, let's hear it. Do you know what you can do with Archer's arm yet?
Hold on. Tosuka is asking something completely different from what I'm thinking. Does she think I can use Archer's arm already? You're not asking whether I can control Archer's arm, but what his noble phantasm is?
Obviously. I know how bad it'd be for you to use his arm, so I wouldn't ask you to do that. Or are you saying you want to now?
Tosuka's genuinely angry at me. Ugh, no, that's not what I meant. I just thought that's where you were going.
Where do you think I was going exactly? Listen, no matter what happens, I won't make you use Archer's arm. Don't even think about using it without my permission. You're Archer's replacement, so I can't have you suddenly dying on me.
I take it all back. Tosuka does know. After all, she is a far more skilled mage than I am. She knows better than I do what will happen to me if I start trying to use this arm.
So, do you understand what his noble phantasm is yet?
I don't know what Tosuka expects me to say, but...
Just tell her already, Shido. You've known ever since his arm was grafted onto you.
Wait, really, Shido?
I think so. Archer's noble phantasm is his projection magecraft that he uses to replicate weapons, right? I'm not confident in my answer, since it was just a hunch I had without any proof.
I was worried for nothing. That means you're already connected to him. I'm glad to hear it, but why didn't you say anything, Ilya? If Shido knows Archer's projection, we need to thoroughly check that out.
Because you never asked. If you want Shido to use projection, then it's your job to ask him. That's not something I can stick my nose in.
Excuse me? Don't tell me you want to stop after all of our preparation.
That's up to you and Shido. It's true that you'll win if you can replicate the jeweled sword. That's why I've been helping you. But I'm only doing it out of obligation. I don't agree with your direction at all.
Based on what they're saying, it sounds like Tosuka wants me to project something. Can I ask something? You want me to replicate something, Tosuka?
Yeah, I'll show you what it is. We can't win against Saber or the Shadow. That's why, in place of the servants we don't have, we need to create a conceptual weapon to use magecraft that can defeat servants, who are made of spiritual bodies.
Conceptual weapon? You mean those fixed magical items designed to enact a fixed effect?
Yeah. They don't defeat targets with physical force, but by crushing the very soul. That's why they're also called Outbreakers or Soul Crushers. I'm gonna have you project a particularly unique one, a dagger that's been passed down through the Tosuka line. Our goal is to make something that's strong enough to fight back against Saber's noble phantasm. You saw her use it to defeat Berserker, right? In terms of sheer firepower, she has no equal. I bet even the Shadow would get wiped out if it took a hit from her noble phantasm, so we can't expect to block or dodge it. Conversely, if we make a sword that's stronger than Saber's noble phantasm, the rest of the battle will be down to our tactics, even if it's a rush job that breaks after one use. It's a rational plan.
It's a rational plan. If their biggest edge is Saber's noble phantasm, then we just need to have something stronger than it. Making a better weapon than our enemies. That's one of the surest and most simple paths to victory. However, I don't know about that. I can't project a noble phantasm on that level. In fact, I've never even succeeded at projection even once.
I know. I bet you've never made a success by the standard of what we mages consider projection. But your problem is more basic than that. Until now, you've been incorrectly making projections using wrong methods, because you didn't even know how. But now that you have Archer's knowledge, you just need to follow his steps. His whole instruction manual's in your head, so you're certain to succeed.
Tosuka says it with confidence. I'm afraid that I don't quite share it. Look, I told you before that you specialize at projection, not strengthening, so if you follow the Magecraft theory of Archer, who's a more advanced user, you should be able to make something with the power of the original. Okay, not quite, but it should be close. Our job is to support you. Ilya and I have been gathering as many ingredients as we can for the weapon that we want you to project. Ilya's analyzing the blueprints that you'll use during your projection, and I'll provide the materials that were used to make the real thing. It'll still be a while before we're ready, but once we are, the rest is up to you. If you can replicate the Grandmaster's path/talisman, even only in shape, it'll give us the chance we need to crush Zoken head-on.
Basically they're going to supply me with a blueprint and materials that I'll use to build something. No complaints here, if we can use it to beat Zoken. I'm happy to go along with Tosuka's plan, except... Let's assume I'm able to project the weapon. Then what do we need materials for? If you show me the original, I can copy it. We could try it right now.
If that was possible, we would have tried it 2 days ago, stupid. Right now, the best you can manage is a single projection, and it's bound to be a mental image that's full of open seams. There's no point in doing that. It'd be a waste of time if we made a fake that resembled the shape but was hollow on the inside, like the failed products in your shed.
But I only know how to make fakes.
That's why I said we'll back you up. We're going to create conditions as close to the original as possible to give you the power and knowledge you need for your projection. Then you'll overlay your mental image to fixate it. It's simple addition. We'll supplement your mental projection with our materials to achieve a greater result.
If you used Archer's arm to do the projection, you wouldn't need any blueprints, but that's out of the question, right? It's the only way to make a battle-ready weapon, without relying on his arm.
So, we're going to strengthen a projection of something that already exists. In that case, it does sound a little more realistic, like an outcome I could manage with practice.
But we still don't know if it'll work.
I couldn't reliably strengthen anything before I became a master. I don't think I can pull off this stunt if you're gonna put me on the spot with no practice.
Oh, no worries there. We're going to put you through a training gauntlet to have you practice your projection and draw out Archer's knowledge.
Okay, I'm fine with that, but you seem awfully happy about this, Tosuka.
Heaven forbid. I've just been playing building blocks with Ilya for so long that it might be a nice change of pace to have a nice talk with a naughty student.
Ugh, I shudder, remembering the bizarre sensations I felt yesterday. It was an ordeal where Tosuka stripped me down, closed in on me, and jammed her finger inside me. That ended without incident, but if it's going to happen again today... Ugh. I might get a good scolding from Sakura, who's resting in her room.
Jokes aside, do you understand now? If you do, I want to confirm with you one last time.
Confirm what?
That you're okay with this plan. In the end, we're going to rely on your projection. We won't make you use Archer's arm, but you'll still be imitating his magecraft, which means that the servant's poison will enter your body. Will you still stick to the plan, Shiro?
I mean, it's the only way to defeat Zoken. I feel better knowing that you're going to train me.
I'll be clear. Copying Archer's magecraft means undoing the restraints on his arm, meaning that whenever you practice projection, you'll have to take off the shroud.
My thoughts freeze in place. Take off the holy shroud? Just barely loosening it last night struck me with sheer terror, and I wound up shaking and sobbing. She wants me to unleash this poison again? My answer goes without saying. I nod. Yeah, I'll make it work. I scrounge up every bit of strength and grit, and I'll follow your plan. We're only taking off the shroud, right? I managed to make myself nod.
Yeah, you'll do it, huh?
What, Tosuka? You don't like my answer?
I didn't say that. I just remembered that it's pointless to try and intimidate you. I didn't expect you to say that you'd be okay with taking off the shroud, and I'm satisfied with your answer.
Tosuka huffs and turns away, clearly unhappy.
You're being weird.
I was trying to show you that I'm determined to help, but you make it sound like I did something wrong.
Yeah, I am being weird. It's the answer I wanted to hear, but it still pisses me off to hear it. And Shido, I said earlier that I'd never make you use Archer's arm, meaning that I wouldn't make you take off the shroud. I know how this sounds right after I was trying to test you, but never say that you're going to take off the shroud again. Once you do, there's no going back.
It's an earnest plea, not a warning. I squeeze my wrapped left arm. It's true that I don't want to take this off, but that means... How am I going to copy Archer's magecraft then? I won't be able to draw out its structure unless I undo the shroud, right?
Of course. We're going to keep the risks in mind and just barely loosen the Holy Shroud's restraints. It won't fully undo the seal, and it should reduce the feedback from his arm.
Right. When you were talking about taking off the shroud earlier...
I meant that we'd just slightly loosen it. But it's still a big deal, so I wanted to make sure you were ready. It's something we have to do eventually anyway. You don't want to keep your arm wrapped up forever, do you? You won't get anywhere if you can't at least take it off and put it back on yourself. But if it accidentally comes off in the bath, for example.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Right? So we should teach you to bear the feedback of loosening the shroud at least. It looks like your body is adapting to the ward I applied yesterday, and the magic resistance is working. Ilya will protect your mind, so I think we should have about 5 minutes to work with.
So, you mean you want the two of us to restrain Archer's arm?
Not exactly. I'm only going to be protecting your mind, while it's your job to endure the backflow from Archer's arm. You need to draw out Archer's experience, so you'll have to accept and endure it instead of blocking it out.
I see.
If Ilya... Oh, wait, shit.
Not exactly. I'm only going to be protecting your mind, while it's your job to endure the backflow from Archer's arm. You need to draw out Archer's experience, so you have to accept and endure it instead of blocking it out.
I see. If Ilya blocks the magical energy flow from Archer's arm, I won't be able to learn his magecraft. Even if it's toxic to me, I can't learn what it contains unless I taste it myself. Alright, then I'll loosen the shroud and do my best to endure the backflow from the arm.
Yeah, when you do it, close your eyes and direct your mind inwards. It should be easy, like when you're opening your magic circuits. You just need to experience Archer's projection method. Let it sink into your body, but don't try to understand it. Sorry, I need to step away for a bit. Take care of him, Ilya. I'll be right back, so train him in the meantime.
And with that, Tosaka suddenly leaves the dojo, though not with any urgency. What's up with her?
Who knows? She probably forgot something. Anyway, Shiro, you have something to do, don't you? I think it's foolish to loosen the binds, and I'm against it, but I did promise to help you. We'll finish this before Rin gets back.
Ilya goes behind me and places a cool hand on my back. Ilya?
Just close your eyes. Do that meditation you're so good at. Once you open your magic circuits, I'll protect your mind, and then loosen the Holy Shroud. I'll handle the timing, so just be ready to deal with the magical energy flow. You'll need to try as hard as you can to hang on, because the feedback from the arm will consume you.
I nod and slowly close my eyes. Quickly and quietly, I still my mind and create different nerves inside my body. In just a few days, it'll become much easier to create my pseudo-nerves. Then, just as I complete the line of light running down my back...
It was a needless warning, Shiro. Rin only knows about your human pain of having a heroic spirit's arm attached. She doesn't understand what it really means or what's going to happen to you. But she can't help what she doesn't know. After all, I'm the only person in the world who knows your relationship to Archer.
Ilya says something strange in a voice I can't quite hear.
Now then. The two sisters leave the dojo and enter the yard. What do you think you're doing, Sakura? I thought you're supposed to be resting in your room because of your health. Rin Tosaka looks down on the girl with an icy glare rather than concern. Sakura Mato uneasily drops her gaze. Neither of them exchange any words. Rin sternly scolds Sakura for poking her nose where it doesn't belong, while Sakura can't find the will to say anything due to her feelings of indebtedness and inferiority. Sakura, if you came to see Amiya because you're worried about him, then go back. If that's your only reason for being here, then I'll pretend this never happened. Sakura trembles slightly. The older sister's rebuke is severe. She knows full well how insecure and gloomy Sakura is, even as she drives at her.
That's not it, Nisan.
Even as she feels pressured by Rin, Sakura works up her resolve to stand up to the big sister whom she looks up to so much. However, I don't need an explanation. Just go back to your room. I'm not letting you into the dojo no matter what you say. Rin cuts her off mid-sentence.
Why can't I go inside?
It doesn't matter why. When we're acting as masters, we only see you as our enemy. Look, Sakura, you're still Zoken's pawn, even if you're protecting this house with Ryder instead of taking part in the war. That's why we can't train him in front of you. All Sakura can do is stand there and take the cold lecture. Rin genuinely believes what she says. Unlike Shido, she's constantly on guard against Zoken's next move, or perhaps she's absolutely sure that Sakura will turn on them. Sakura bites her lip in frustration. As Rin says, they don't know when Zoken will take action. With each passing day, her body becomes harder to control, and her memory is more scattered. Even her sleep is plagued with nightmares and no longer the peaceful respite it once was. She could indeed lose her mind at any moment. Exactly. You're just causing more trouble for us by moving around when you don't have enough magical energy. You might collapse at any time. Okay, you might not right now, when nothing's going on, but the more you push yourself, the more Emiya will worry about you. It's just going to stress him out even more. I'm sure you don't want that, Sakura. Rin's logic is completely sound. Frustrated by her own powerlessness, Sakura stares at the ground again. Get it now? And hurry up and go back. Come get you when it's lunch, so make sure you rest until then. She nods meekly. Rin turns her back on her little sister. The gesture seems to declare that Sakura Mato is a nuisance.
Wait, Ne-san!
What? Was there anything else?
Yes, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to go back to my room. Please let me ask a question. What are you going to make Senpai do? You know he can't fight anymore, don't you? And why did you summon him again today to do even more things to him?
Rin stops in her tracks. We're giving him a lecture on magecraft, what else? Right now we can't beat Zoken's saber or that shadow. That's why we need Shido to draw out Archer's magecraft. Archer's arm contains his accumulated experience. If we loosen the Holy Shroud, that experience will flow into Shido even if he's asleep, forcing him to level up. Sakura is a mage too, so she understands how reckless of an idea that is. What her sister's trying to do to Shido is nothing but torture, like trying to force 100 liters of fuel into his 10-liter tank. Of course, the excess gasoline's bound to spill out, and even if they pour 10,000 points of experience into him, he can only retain 10. It will only cause him suffering. All Shido will gain is less than a tenth of the agony he's forced to taste, and more importantly, a normal mind could never endure such an experience. If a mud doll faces a tidal wave, it'll be washed away without a trace. That's what it means to loosen that Holy Shroud.
That's reckless! If you keep doing that, his body won't last! No, that's not all. He trusts you! He's letting you do these things to him because of his faith in you. But you know him. All it'll take is one word from you to make him take off that shroud.
Sakura. She doesn't look down this time. Sakura glares defiantly at her sister, her ideal. Yeah, but he's already been taking the shroud off, even though I haven't told him to. I realized that when I was talking to him earlier. Seriously, what's wrong with him? No matter how many times I warn him, he just ends up doing it anyway, like it's no big deal.
Huh? Nessa?
It's because I know him that I suggested a plan that won't involve him using his arm. If he knows that we have a fighting chance, even if he doesn't take the shroud off, then he'll barely keep himself in check. So my job is to have him make us a tool while staying on the right side of that line. Once we're finished, Shido can rest. I'll even confine him and make him behave, and not let him fight against the Holy Grail again until the Holy Grail War is over. Her sister's telling the truth. Rin Tosaka is being as considerate as she can, but that's only within her own heart. Sakura is the heir to an equally old lineage, so she knows her sister has other priorities.
Ne-san, I know you're worried about Senpai, but that's all. Once you realize that your method can't defeat Grandfather, then you're sure to use it. You're a Tosaka mage. If it helps you win, to safeguard the laws that govern mages, you'll use Senpai as a tool if you have to.
It's not a question, just a statement of fact. The Tosaka heiress closes her eyes. Yes, if this method fails, and Zoken and the Shadow repeat last night's atrocity again, then I'll make Shido use Archer's arm. It's the obvious choice to make, since all it will cost is his life. She lays it out boldly.
That's selfish. Senpai's never wanted the Holy Grail. It's just a coincidence that he became a master, so it's wrong to keep forcing him to fight.
Huh. You seem to have the wrong idea, Sakura. Listen, I'm not forcing Shido to do anything, nor do I have the right to order him around. My Archer's arm saved his life. Since then, he's continued to keep the arm while putting up with its effects. So his life has been mine ever since that moment. As long as he has that arm, he's my Archer. Do you understand? Shido is my familiar until this war is over. You have no right to interfere with that. I want him to fight, so I'll borrow his power as much as I need to. She can't come up with a retort. Awed by her sister's confidence, the girl stands there unable to say anything in reply. Are we finished here? Then go back to your room. You're being a nuisance by staying here. Rintosuka turns and goes back to the dojo. The girl watches her go as if gazing at a distant landscape. This yard that should be so familiar to her seems huge. She feels like there's nothing in it and nothing she can reach for. In the midst of her loneliness.
So you're even going to take senpai from me, Nesa?
She whispers in an empty voice. Jeez. Then, I find Tosuka's face right in front of mine. I wonder when she came back. What are you doing, Tosuka? I bet. Doesn't he look...
Anyway, lunch between Rin and Sakura. Sakura's in...
That's weird. What are they whispering about right in front of me? Tosuka? Ilya? I can't raise my voice. Something must be wrong with my throat. One more time. Hey, what are you two talking about? They suddenly stop whispering. Oh, my voice is back. Seems like yelling helped clear up my throat. You were just talking about how my seasoning style was fresh and novel. Do you not actually like spicy food, Shiro?
Your food isn't spicy, it's numbing. We already decided that Sakura would make lunch, so give it up already. Shiro said he prefers Sakura stew too.
Apparently they were talking about lunch. Hey, this isn't really... The time, I almost say. I look over at the clock and see that it's almost noon. Something nags at me. Nothing is particularly wrong, but I feel a strange chill in the familiar dojo. Because... It was just after 9 o'clock when Tosuka left. Knowledge that I don't know in my head. Why are we talking about food? I joined the conversation. Speaking of which, what details of...
Every weapon already in my head.
Ilya is worried.
White hot pain in my arm.
40, then 26 times.
Memories disappear and I'm back to normal.
Oh. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. I tap a finger on my forehead. Tap a finger on my forehead. I'm okay. Anyway, the dizziness is going away. Shiro? You said you were going shopping with Ilya, right? I search my memory. I frown for a bit before remembering that I did say I'd go shopping with Ilya. Yeah, let's go, Ilya. I shake my head and start walking. Hang on. What's wrong with you? You seemed fine when we put the shroud back on, but do you feel tired now? Huh? Yeah, I feel a little confused, but it's no big deal. It's nothing compared to the pain I felt last night, and I'm in good physical condition. I got a little dizzy for a second there, but it doesn't pose a problem at all. I take Ilya outside. I can't afford to go out shopping frequently anymore, so we'll have to stock up for about 3 days at a time. Guess I'll buy a lot. Is there anything you want, Ilya? I'm thinking about the lunch menu.
Weren't we going to have stew for lunch? You just said so earlier.
Oh, right, I did. I just wanted to double check. Sakura likes white stew, so we'll look at some chicken. We head to the butcher shop I usually visit. We're going to stock up for 3 days in any case. I can't waste money, so I need to maximize value and quality. Wait, is it? Quality, yeah, okay. We spend a brisk 30 minutes shopping.
You bought so much!
Ilya looked bored while we were shopping, but she seemed to enjoy herself once I gave her some bags to hold. Sorry, I bought too much. Are the bags heavy for you? I can trade you for some lighter ones. I handed the lightest grocery bag out of the 7 I'm holding.
No, I'm okay. It isn't heavy. I can take one more, actually. You're holding so many in one hand. Looks like a bunch of grapes.
I'm okay too. That's a funny example, though.
Yeah, I was actually thinking you're like a clown holding a bunch of balloons, but grapes are cuter.
Ilya runs through the street, talking happily. Wait up, Ilya. They aren't that heavy, but I can't really run right now. Rather than the weight, I'm afraid the eggs and tofu in the bag might get crushed. I sigh and fast walk after Ilya. This is the greatest concession I can give as the designated grocery shopper. And so I follow Ilya, making a lot of noise as I hold my groceries carefully. That seems to tickle Ilya, and she looks like she's having a lot of fun. Once we leave the shopping district and arrive at the intersection, Ilya stops and turns to me. Oh, I can't read that. Just enjoy the pretty music. I mean, granted, even if I could do the German well, I'm also not particularly confident in my singing ability. But... turn on the voices for a second. Actually, yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Let's see. Config. Advanced settings. Sound settings. Voices. Let's just put them up here for a second. Oh. Huh? This line doesn't have audio? Question mark? Doesn't have a play on it, so I guess it doesn't. Ilya starts singing, supermarket grocery bags in hand. The melody sounds familiar, like I might have heard it in school when I was a child. Oh yeah. Huh. Yeah, it actually doesn't have voice lines for this song anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter then. That's interesting. I'm walking next to Ilya, so I don't know what face she's making. I have no way of telling what expression she's singing with, or how she feels as she walks home. It's a nostalgic melody. The tune is simple and gentle, yet lonely. I'm sure that Ilya is happy. Otherwise, she wouldn't be singing on the way home. On the other hand, I can't help but think maybe Ilya sings to herself a lot. With no one to talk to, and no father waiting to greet her at home, perhaps this is the only way she can express herself when no one else is around. At the edge of the road, I look up at the tall, curved traffic mirror. It reflects me holding a lot of bags and a girl singing with her eyes closed as if in a dream. There's nothing else to say. We're just a brother and sister on the way home after buying groceries. The sight's so natural, so ordinary, that I can't help but imagine how wonderful it would be to see Kiritsugu there, in between the boy with the groceries and the lively little girl. Should his hand have been like that in the CG, though, by the way? I was thinking about that. Should his arm not have looked like that? And Philip with the 8. So for some baffling reason, Ilya's VA singing got cut from the remastered release. A shame, because it was very sweet. I'll post it after stream. Interesting. I don't know why it was like that. Huh. Weird. Putting hand on chat's shoulder. I'm not reading that German, but I've read some of the German before. Like, I'm just, like... I'm not one of those people that tends to like going like, oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that with like foreign language stuff, but it is a little bit
more difficult in a live setting than it is for, like, say, a scripted thing or whatever. Like, if I were doing a video on this or whatever and I had to recite it, then I'd just look up how it was pronounced. I'd have enough time to do it. But on a stream, it's like, shit, I don't know, bro.
Ilya, I hold my breath.
What, Shido?
She innocently turns around. She must be hiding how she really feels. Ilya's shutting off her own feelings. Ever since Archer disappeared, she's become sullen at times. That's how we can have moments like this. Because if she doesn't hide how she really feels, then she can't smile. That goes for me too. I've known it all along, but I kept putting off thinking about it, turning away from what needs to be said. Ilya let things be this way, so I joined in on the lie.
Shido?
Ilya must have given up. She stopped pursuing it and decided to keep us company at our end. That's okay. That's okay. If Ilya's happy with our current relationship and willing to ignore it all, then it'll end without her losing anyone else. But still, Ilya, after this war ends, if you have nowhere to go home to... I'm crazy. I'm saying something that doesn't need to be said, but I have to say it while I still can. I'm going crazy. That's all the more reason. Ilya, do you want to keep living with me? I need to say it now, properly, before I completely lose my mind. She stops. With a flat voice, Ilya asks,
Do you mean that as Kiritsugu's son?
She watches me quietly. Kiritsugu's son. What Kiritsugu couldn't do, what he left behind. I must carry on that responsibility as his son, even if we aren't related by blood. I have to settle things with this girl, not because Shido Emiya wants it, but because Kiritsugu's son owes it to her. That's what Ilya is saying to me. Is asking me. Yeah, and my answer is, of course. Yeah, I'm my father's son, and I like you. It's the only reason I want you to live with me.
Are you serious? You think you can be his replacement?
No, I can't be Kiritsugu, nor can I replace him. We're two different people. I can't give you back what he owes you. I love my old man. I want to finish what he couldn't. So if you can find it in your heart to forgive him, even a little bit, then I want to live with you, Ilya. Is it wrong to try and take back the things you couldn't do until now? Is it wrong for us to live together even if we're only starting now? She doesn't answer. Ilya looks down for a while and then slightly shakes her head.
It's impossible. I don't have long to live, and neither do you, so we can't live together.
She rejects me with a smile like a pretty flower. You don't have long to live.
You know that, don't you? Yes, if one of us makes a sacrifice, the other might be able to live a little longer, but I don't think we can both do that. If I live once this war is over, you won't be around anymore. See? That's why it can't happen. Because there's no place for me in the Emiya house if you weren't there too.
Ilya's words are filled with certainty. The silver-haired girl describes a grim future like a prophet.
It's too bad, though. Wish you'd said this a little bit sooner. If you had, then our destinies might have changed just a little bit. Yeah.
I don't understand what she's saying. Not her declaration that one of us has to die, or how she can say it all with a smile. You're talking crazy. That won't happen. Zoken might come after you, but we'll defeat him first. That's why you're working together with Tosuka, isn't it?
Yes, but that's also the problem. Don't mention this to Rin, Shido. About the plan to project the jeweled sword and replicate the Tosuka relic, Rin's way won't work. Because your projections aren't projection magecraft. Normally, projection magecraft can supplement a projection that resembles the original to a degree. But your projections don't work that way. You can't give them form unless you create them from A to Z in your own mental image. After all, your magecraft isn't projection, but a manifestation of your own mind.
What? Ilya, how does she know that Archer's magecraft is a manifestation of his mind's shape?
That's why it won't work. The only way to make what Rin needs is for you to use Archer's arm. I'm sure you already know what that entails. It'll take more than a fleeting fragment of his memories. You'll stop being Shido once you use it.
Right now, you're a little confused because you keep thinking lots and lots of things about yourself, Sakura, and me. So I'll forget that you asked me this. You know as well as I do that you can only choose to save one person, not everyone.
Ilya turns away and starts up the hill. The nostalgic tune is gone. Ilya's words linger in my ears. Yeah, fuck, man. Ah, dude. Oh, a shrill noise comes from the kitchen. It's the 4th time tonight I've heard that unpleasant sound.
I'm sorry. I'm okay, don't worry.
I hear Sakura's voice from the kitchen. Tosuka just frowns. She seems tired of warning Sakura by now. It's shortly before 6 o'clock. Sakura asked us to let her make dinner to close out the day. She chased me and Tosuka out of the kitchen, so we've just been waiting around for her to finish making dinner. Another plate or bowl breaks. It's the sound of Sakura's failure that we've gotten used to hearing for the last half of today. Let's rewind to noon. Sakura couldn't make stew after Ilya and I went out for groceries. She was waiting for us when we got home, but she clearly wasn't feeling well.
I'm okay. I feel a little feverish, but I can make lunch at least.
And it's true, she could have cooked us lunch. But we weren't going to make her push herself when she was clearly suffering from a fever. By the time Tosuka and I convinced Sakura to take a nap, it was already past 2 in the afternoon. Before she did, she insisted,
But once my fever's down, you'll let me be in the kitchen, right?
and went off to bed. Then came evening. I'm not sure when my training ended, but when I finished and went back to the living room, Sakura was already starting to cook dinner.
Oh, I hope your training went well, Senpai. Just hold on, I'll have dinner ready for you soon.
And then she cheerfully went back to her cooking. I could tell with a single glance that she was putting on a strong front. You're tired, so go rest. I said that Tosuka and I would make dinner, but Sakura refused to back down.
Oh, you don't need to be so overprotective. I'm the master too. This is nothing compared to actually fighting.
She stubbornly refused to back down, no matter what we said. On top of that, she refused to let us help, especially Tosuka. Tosuka reacted with more surprise than I expected.
I mean, you're training Senpai, right? I need to make myself useful too. I want to help like you, Nesan. Besides, this is a role I've always had. I'd like to keep doing it as long as I can.
It sounded like this is something that Sakura just can't give up. I can only imagine how defeating it must feel to stop doing something she's done routinely every single day, no matter how hard it is to move her body. Fine. Take care of dinner, Sakura. Oh, fine. Take care of dinner, Sakura. Tosuka got irritated and started to criticize me. Oh, no, wait. No, I guess that was Shido, actually. But that only made Sakura say,
Yes, I'll do my best, Senpai.
yeah, that was true. It was hard to be negative in front of that much enthusiasm.
Thank you for your patience.
Her bright voice reaches the dining table. Sakura confidently sets plate after plate on the table. Oh, Takikomi Gohan. You put a lot of work into this, Sakura.
Yes, you bought good clams and shrimp, so I used them to make tonight's dinner. I cooked the clams into the rice, steamed the shrimp and dumplings, did the squid in a more ethnic style, and topped it off with a Hamburg steak just for Ilya.
She puffs up her chest proudly. The dishes she's laid out on the table do show brilliance, unlike anything she's made so far, so she must have put her heart into making them. The secret ingredient is effort. Ooh. Clap, 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 clap. The other 3 diners applaud the display.
I was worried about you for a while there, but this looks worth the wait. I'm excited to try it.
I'm gonna eat a lot too. Hand me that fork, Shido.
There you go. Don't mind if I take some myself.
Yes, I made enough for seconds, so be sure to eat a lot.
I make a quiet bow and pick up a steamed dumpling with my chopsticks. At a glance, the round, bite-sized dumplings resemble sui mai. They're beautifully formed, and accompanied by an exquisite balance of spring onions, ginger, and daikon sprouts. I was uneasy letting Sakura cook for 4 people, but I can't complain now that my chopsticks stopped moving. All 3 of our expressions must have frozen for an instant. We pretend not to notice and quietly keep eating. We have to keep eating. The colorful dish tastes inconsistent. They don't taste bad, per se. They just each seem to lack a subtle flavor or taste off balance. The silence is uncomfortable. We keep quietly eating, not quite looking at each other. Still, it's impossible to play it off. Sakura cooked this. She'll realize it tastes wrong as soon as she eats it. Our silence is just a prelude to that discovery. I look up at Sakura. She should have realized it by now. Yeah, she's shitting there. No. She's sitting there in shock. And she hasn't taken a single bite. I try to watch her inconspicuously so that she doesn't notice. I wonder what's wrong. Sakura is looking down at her rice bowl and chopsticks with a troubled expression. She hesitates, then resolves herself to reach for her chopsticks. But then she drops them with a clatter. She hastily picks them up again and tries to gloss over it by picking up her rice bowl, too. I can't directly watch her doing it. Sakura repeats the effort several times. She clumsily moves her fingers and warily picks up the food with her chopsticks, only to drop it each time again and again. It's more than just difficulty controlling her fingers. Her awkward movements look like that of someone who knew how to use the chopsticks until a few seconds ago but forgot once she picked them up. We're not looking. It's a slip-up that anyone would notice right away, but we don't see it. I tell myself it's just dinner as usual, even as she fails over and over. She awkwardly manipulates her chopsticks onto the food, finally manages to eat one bite, forgets how to hold the chopsticks, and has to remember all over again. I can't bring myself to interrupt her desperation and ask her if she's all right. Tosuka hasn't noticed. She's pretending not to notice and quietly eating her dinner. So am I. We all pretend not to notice anything wrong with Sakura and finish our meal in silence. Jesus. I decided to clean up after dinner. Sakura tried to help, but I cruelly turned her away. It's obvious she can't help clean in her state, and I don't want Sakura to have to confront another routine that she can't do anymore, as she mentioned earlier. Just go back to your room and get a good night's sleep. Remember how your nap helped it go away during the day? It'll work this time, too. Okay, yeah. I basically tell her that if she lies down and keeps her body from moving, she'll be able to move her fingers again. It doesn't make much sense, even to me. Sakura bites her lip in anguish, looking away. Sakura, this isn't going to last forever, but if you push yourself when you aren't feeling well, it'll take longer to get better. You didn't do anything wrong, just let us spoil you for a while.
That's not true. I'm doing everything wrong. My fever is down, and I remember what happened yesterday. I could tell from your face earlier, too. I've never done anything to make you worry before, so when I see you feeling that way, I have to...
Make it so that I don't worry? Don't be silly. I'll tell you exactly how bad you're pushing yourself. It took you 2 hours to make dinner. You accidentally dropped a plate 7 times. On top of that, you messed up all the seasoning. You weren't careful with the salt, and you added way too much pepper. It didn't even taste like you're cooking. It's fine to be proud of your work, but it has the opposite effect when you don't show results. Do you understand me now? I know you want to get better, but you still have a fever. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made all those mistakes. Just so you know, I'm mad. I'm not letting you back into the kitchen tomorrow. I won't let you push yourself again until you completely recover, so behave yourself and sleep. I don't wait for her to answer and lead her by the hand to her bedroom. Her footsteps are heavy, but I ignored them and took her to her room. Tosuka's waiting at the door. It's now 10 p.m. Time to go out on night patrol, even if it might be a waste of time. That was quick. How's Sakura? Got her into bed. She's clearly tired, no matter what she says. She fell asleep as soon as she lied down. Okay. I'll leave the rest to Ilya and Ryder. Haven't seen her around, but Ryder is somewhere in the house guarding Sakura. As Tosuka says, Ryder is constantly protecting Sakura. She probably hasn't taken material form to avoid burdening Sakura. She's unlikely to last even a few more days. I recall the priest's words. As long as the Holy Grail War continues, the crestworms inside Sakura will keep eating her magical energy. In her state, it's dangerous to materialize her servant. Even if she does, Ryder won't be able to fight. Ryder must be standing guard in spirit form with that in mind. You look gloomy. Something you want to say? Something I want to say? That's a dumb question. Of course there is. Tosuka, can we take down Zoken tonight? We can't afford to drag this out much longer. Sakura grows weaker every day. If the priest is to be believed, she could die tomorrow. No, we can't beat him right now. I understand the urgency, but you'll need to be patient if you want to save Sakura. If we go down, then there's no one else to help her. We can't fight yet. I get that. But then... You think there's no point in going out on patrol? Shido, do you think defeating Zoken is all we need to do? Of course not, right? I thought we were also trying to stop innocent people from dying in the Holy Grail War. She's right. I know that, I do. There's a purpose to these patrols. We'll have to flee if we run into the enemy. We have to do whatever we can to prevent more people from falling victim like they did last night. But what exactly did I swear to protect again?
Shido? Hey, Amiya, are you okay?
Just a little dizzy. Sorry about that, Tosuka. It was thoughtless of me.
It's okay. You don't need to apologize. Sakura is in danger, but you're tired too. Actually, I should have had you learn today's projection over 3 days. I understand why you'd want to go fight him right away, since you succeeded on the first day.
I learned how to use projection today?
What's wrong? Did I say something strange?
No, today's training was so hard, and it took everything I had just to hang in there. It still doesn't quite feel real.
Yeah, you looked like you were in a trance, but it was worth it, and you managed to project 1 dagger at the end. Though your success rate's still under 10%, so it still needs work. I had a feeling he was having memory problems. Fuck.
Well, that makes sense if it happened while I was in a trance. My sense of time must have just gone numb from concentrating so hard. It felt like evening came before I even knew it. Jesus. By the time I notice that something is wrong, we've already gone into town. Tosuka must have noticed it too, because she's quietly trying to sense something. The view is familiar. The town is dark and quiet after 10 p.m. There's nobody on the streets and no sound at all. It's a silent night that I've grown used to seeing since the Holy Grail War started. But it's quiet. Tosuka whispers next to me. Yes, it's quiet here. For the last few days, the town's become as quiet as ruins, sinking into a still slumber once night falls. And yet, the silence tonight is beyond anything I've experienced so far. Hey, yesterday, was it like that over there? All of the streetlights are dark, not to mention the houses. Tosuka's squinting in the direction of Ryudo Temple. It's a part of town on the opposite side of Shinto, just short of the edge of the city. The streets there are completely dark. From here, it's like staring into a black wall. Let's go. Oh, let's go. That's all I say as I begin walking toward the darkened streets. Tosuka remains silent. It's probably the obvious choice for her, too. We both know what's happening there. It's a contradiction. We know exactly what we'll find if we go there, and yet we go anyway, hoping we're completely wrong. What exactly did I feel when I laid eyes on it? This dark wall with nothing beyond it. The instant I step through it and see the town I know, I understand what's occurred. The town is too quiet. Sleeping isn't enough to describe it. This is a complete void without any sign of human life. It's the utter stillness of death, not slumber, when nothing is living anymore. I feel dizzy. The town hasn't changed. Around us, 50 or so houses are as black as night, looking exactly the same. There's no signs of their doors being forced. Nothing broke any windows to get in. Of course, no crane peeled off the walls and roofs to get at what's inside. In the same way, the presence of over 100 residents is simply absent. Amiya, let's try going into that house. Tosuka puts on some gloves and breaks into a nearby house. We pass by the nameplate. We open the front door. We walk down the hall. We explore the first floor, check the second floor, find absolutely nothing, and leave. What about the people in the blacked-out houses? Tosuka tells me that they're gone. The town looks as it always does at night. The buildings are completely intact, and there aren't any dead bodies. It's perfectly clean, and nobody will notice anything off once dawn breaks. And yet, it looked even more barren than back then. We checked a few more houses, but our findings were exactly the same. There was no damage to any of the buildings and no people inside. All they left behind were some traces of magical energy that made my chest ache. On every single building, road, and patch of ground, we found dark traces of something stuck to them that keeps its shape and color even now. We knew even without saying anything that it was the cause of this pristine tragedy. I feel dizzy. I'm irritatingly nauseous. Corpses without bodies, bleeding without blood, an uninhabited neighborhood devoured by shadow, all while I walk through it all on edge. A completely unrelated image comes to mind for some reason, but it isn't unrelated. It can't be, if I'm thinking of it here. Stop. Remember. You know this presence, this scent. You did before, too. What did you imagine the first time you laid eyes on that abomination? Don't notice it. It's the same. No, something even heavier attacked everyone here. It's not true. It was the same. Why did you imagine what you saw? Back then. Because I have no proof. I have no reason. I have no motive. I have no evidence. It doesn't look like anyone. It shouldn't be true. It can't be true. I must not acknowledge it. The more I think, if I become a bad person, I don't have any proof at all, but my mind tells me that this hunch is true. I know it is because that sensation was... Stop, don't think these stupid thoughts. Too similar to my nightmares of...
Shido, why'd you stop? Is there anything else you wanted to check out?
I shake my head and get rid of the dizziness. I must have gotten a whiff of the scent the shadow left behind. No, I just got nauseous. Don't mind me and keep talking, Tozuka.
Really? Darn it. Its residue still affects you, even after I increased your magic resistance. Guess that's to be expected, given that it's a massive blob of magical energy. It wouldn't be able to eat an entire town if it wasn't.
That's not why I'm feeling tired. I was just feeling literally disgusted. Tozuka seems to accept that. More importantly, we need to confirm what happened here. So, what happened over there anyway?
Pretty much the same meal as before. It's just on a different scale now. Before, I wouldn't have expected to find its muddy dregs on each and every house. It must have covered the entire area like a tsunami and melted into the ground. Must have been so hungry it wanted them to eat them all in one bite. Doesn't seem to have a taste for inorganic things, though. It ignored everything that wasn't alive and digested every living thing without leaving a trace. The only mercy was that it happened instantly. They wouldn't have had any time to feel any pain or fear.
A bounded field of disillusion. Tozuka explains that the bounded field rider deployed at the school was like magecraft with an instantaneous and powerful effect.
The problem is that I didn't sense any magical energy even though such a large spell was activated. If the shadow did this, then this isn't its magecraft, but its innate behavior, meaning that a disillusion of this size is no different than tossing and turning in bed for that thing.
I see. But it's over now. The shadow disappeared somewhere once it satisfied its hunger, and we have no reason to pursue it now. Our patrols have lost their purpose. There were new victims despite our efforts, and we can't even detect the shadow who's the key culprit. Whether it was the shadow or Zoken, I thought we might be able to get a read on their movements and run to the scene to intervene. But that's lost its meaning now. We don't have any way to track the shadow, and more than that. I knew this already, but it's growing every day. This pace, it'll be an unstoppable monster the next time it shows up.
I figure I guess that might be Rin, but...
Right now, we don't have any chance of winning.
Yeah, that probably was. He was following up his thought from the internal monologue, but... Whatever.
Complete silence. They were not the only ones here to appreciate the loss of life and ruin of prosperity.
Not that expression was quite accurate. The boy and girl still showed an admirable will to fight, and they clearly did not appreciate what they found. Only one who was no longer human would delight in this tragedy. My, they just don't know when to quit. Who? I thought it was fine to let them be, but perhaps it's time to nip this in the bud. The old man cackles. He blends into the shadows as he roams the uninhabited town, White Skull in tow. Oh, okay, I see. He's looking at the boy and girl. The old man pleasantly watches his enemies. He has no hostile intent. How could he hate something that's hardly even a foe to him anymore? To the old man, they're no different from pebbles by the wayside. But the White Skull thinks differently. To him, a threat is a threat no matter how small. Any obstacle should be removed on the spot, even if they're beyond his own powers to defeat. The man who was summoned as assassin acts strictly according to that unwritten law.
Should we not kill them where they stand?
He inquires of his lord. The boy and girl are highly vulnerable as they walk through the ghost town. How can they be so defenseless in this land of death? The skull can only see them as sick individuals with a wish for death. Thus, one might even consider it a mercy to end them here. And yet...
No, that would be a bit of a waste. I've let them live this long, so it'd be so dull to end them now.
The old man has no mercy. He's rotten to the core, having lived over 500 years and lost his humanity in all but shape.
What do you think of this plot, assassin? There's a living sacrifice here, a pitiable hunk of meat shunned, hate, and cursed by the world of men. This meat nobly tries to save the world. As long as even one person is on its side, it endeavors to save the world its allies live in.
Goodness. Passion is so precious and powerful.
Wait. Okay, yeah, it's still Zokan talking.
Goodness, passion is so precious and powerful. The world will never exhaust its hate for the meat, no matter what it does. It desperately tries to hold its mud in, believing that hating them back would mean rejecting its ally. Therefore, nothing the meat does will matter. But what would happen if it was rejected by its only ally? It has always been scorned by the entire world. If its one and only hope were to betray it, it would have no morality to keep it in check.
Then, Lord Mage, do you intend to have that boy give the final push?
Indeed I do. He's the right character to close out this play. He's grown more than expected, but managed to survive this long. It's only right that I allow him the pleasure of killing it.
He chuckles in delight. Sadism and satisfaction color his mirth. Enamored with his own ingenious suggestion, his chattering laugh makes him seem like a skull bobbing in the wind. I don't like, what that sounded like. I don't like that even a little bit. In the end, we got home before midnight. We decided there wasn't any point in wasting our stamina when there was nothing else to do. My feet grew heavy. The physical stress of training all day must be catching up with me. My body feels like lead, and my eyelids might droop closed at any moment. I'm sleepy. Maybe my mind is worse off than my body. I want to sleep so badly I might just curl up on the floor in this hallway.
Welcome back. How'd the town look, Rin?
Ilya was waiting for us in the living room. Sakura isn't here. Of course not. Sakura is... No. Sakura should be sleeping in her room right now. We got there after it happened. How's Sakura?
Nothing happened to her. She's sleeping in bed, and it doesn't seem like she woke up. I think she's doing a little better thanks to the energy saved from not using Rider.
Okay. Still, be careful. There's no telling when she might go out of control again. Doesn't seem like Tosuka's any worse off after seeing that ghost town. I'm tired, so I'm going to bed. What about you, Ilya?
I'm going to rest too. We're gonna forge it tomorrow, so I'd better get enough sleep so we don't fail.
Ilya bids us goodnight and goes off to the tatami room. That's it for today, then. Get some rest, Chido. I don't think you've noticed, but you're really pale. My body feels heavy. Okay, I think this is the point where I'm going to go ahead and grab some water real quick, so I'll be back in just a minute. Thank you for waiting.
we're good.
My body feels heavy. I do manage to roll out my futon, even though through my brain fog thanks to daily muscle memory. I collapse into bed. When I roll onto my back and look up at the ceiling, I make a little time to think. I try to think with my exhausted brain. I think about my left arm, about loosening the shroud today. After experiencing unbearable agony and terror last night, I easily overcome it in a day. It ended so easily, the pain and fear might well have never existed. If I think seriously about what that means, I know the answer. I think about Ilya. She told me that she couldn't live with me. She said it'd be nice, but that it couldn't happen, because she doesn't have long to live. She told me something that anyone would know. I think about I think about Sakura. Her life is becoming more confined with each passing day, because the crestworms are feeding on her body and she doesn't have enough magical energy. It isn't her fault. It isn't Sakura's fault that her body is this way. All I can do for her is share my magical energy. If I give her some blood and supply her with enough power, she should hold together. I close my eyes. Ilya said that we were all beyond saving. There's only one choice to make. I made it long ago.
Senpai, are you back?
I hear a voice from the hallway. I'm awake. Come in, Sakura. I get up. Even if my head isn't working right. I wanted to see Sakura.
Pardon me. Sorry, I heard something, so I woke up. I haven't said goodnight to you yet.
Sakura is her usual self. She's introverted, thoughtful, and always holds in what she wants to say. She's still the girl who tries to laugh and means so much to me. Over the last year, she's become so stunningly beautiful that now I want to embrace her anytime we're alone together. She's the person I promised to protect forever.
That's all I wanted to say. I feel better thanks to you, and I think I'll sleep well tonight. I just wanted to let you know that you don't need to worry.
Sakura is her usual self. Of course she is. Why wouldn't she be? She couldn't possibly be the Sakura that came onto me that one night.
Senpai? Am I disturbing you? You look really sleepy, or rather tired.
Sakura, did you get a good sleep? But I still voice my anxiety. My tired mind can't organize its thoughts.
Yes, it was a restful nap. I still had scary dreams, but I managed to get through them because you stayed with me until I fell asleep.
Scary dreams. I know I shouldn't ask what they were. I say nothing and reach for her long hair.
Huh? Senpai?
Come over here, Sakura. My hand falls from her hair to her shoulder and I bring her in close.
Senpai,
You don't like it? I whisper into her ear as I hug her. Sakura doesn't resist burying her head into my chest.
No, I'm so happy.
She lets herself relax and snuggles against me. Then I hug her very tightly. I can't control myself. I've always wanted to do this with her. There's been so many times I wanted to hug Sakura until I pass out. So I do. Sakura's voice doesn't reach my brain. All I hear is my ragged breathing. It's Sakura who wants me, who needs me. Before I know it, I'm the one who's being satisfied. I lose track of time. I try to keep watching this nightmare until morning, but the power soon goes out in my body. I start to fall asleep, still holding Sakura's hand.
Senpai, I'm going to...
Savoring her body heat through my hands, I fall into a deep sleep. Then the rational part of me speaks. My ecstatic brain recovers its calm in the abyss of sleep. What will happen if you do this? By drowning yourself in Sakura, maybe you're decisively admitting that your fears are justified. I'm having scary dreams again. Something creeps along the road.
Something scary that kills people with each step it takes. I watch it go from a place slightly behind it. I don't want to watch, but I can't turn away. It's a scary dream. A nightmare that I'll have to keep watching over and over. But if I'm being honest, I've started to feel a slight closeness to it. I was afraid at first, but I'm used to seeing it now. Above all, this child doesn't have a bad heart. It just eats in a different way than we do. It's a lot like me. Tonight is the same. Why do they all come up to it? Maybe it has something that draws men in. No matter how many people it kills, no matter how many days this goes on, all it needs to draw in food is to walk around at night. It eats. At first it ate in a rush, but it's gotten the hang of this. There's no need to hurry. Once they're pulled in by their feet, it's over. It eats up their heart and mind without leaving a single drop. Giggle and sing, go, go. It's in a good mood tonight. Even though it's never shown any emotion before now, it's giddy tonight. That makes me feel closer to it too. I'm very happy tonight. After all, it's the first time Senpai sought me out himself. Yeah, so there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. I'll still have these scary dreams, but they're no problem at all. The world seems so beautiful and kind because Senpai's looking at me. So I start to think that even this bad dream could go on a little longer, and I set out in search of my next meal. Unfortunately.
Working hard, I see. You've taken double your usual number tonight.
I run into someone who's even scarier than this dream.
I figure I know that it's... Like, I know I made an assumption there, but I feel like that was a safe assumption to make.
I run away. The thing has never been afraid of anything before, but it flees in terror from this man.
Golden... Oh, shit! No, no, no! It wasn't! It wasn't!
Working hard, I see. You've taken double your usual number tonight.
Golden hair and red eyes. He smells like me. I've seen him before, once.
Die while you can, girl. Once it takes a liking to you, you won't even be able to do that.
He's the golden servant who warned me to kill myself.
Holy shit. I kind of forgot about you for a bit, Gil.
I run.
From what?
I run.
From whom?
I run.
Why?
My dream won't end. The thing looks so pitiful as it panics and runs into an alleyway. It's all over for it now.
I took you for a failed Holy Grail, but you've become far more complete than I anticipated. It's too bad, really. It is I who will carry out the selection. Before you die, curse yourself for being too suitable.
In an instant, countless blades stab the thing. Huh? That's weird. It hurts. She's the one who got stabbed, so why am I in pain when I'm watching from over here? She's the one who's dying, so why am I on the ground? I'm the one who's dreaming, so why?
Why is my body cut to ribbons?
Ouch. I'm in a dream, but it hurts. Something is spilling out of my stomach. I must look so pathetic. It hurts. I try to put the squishy things back inside, but my hands are playing somewhere else. My feet. I have feet, but the body they're attached to is dangling around. No. When I try to say something, it hurts like I've been struck by lightning. But I can't move, so I can't get away. Why am I...
Still breathing? How filthily you cling to life, girl.
He has no mercy. The golden man snaps a finger and a blade bigger than my own body chops my head off. Oh, a nightmare. This is a nightmare. It's just like the dreams I've had so far. It isn't really happening. Once I open my eyes, I'll be back in Senpai's house. See? I'm about to wake up. Because it hurts so much. It hurts so much I want to die. So unless I wake up, I really will... But I can't wake up. I can't wake up from this dream.
Help. Help. It hurts. Help. Help. I need to hurry and wake up or else it'll take me with it. But I can't wake up. I can't wake up from this dream. This dream. I can't get out of this dream, Senpai.
And then the woman falls. She sprawls on the ground like an insect pinned to a museum plaque, her entire body skewered by noble phantasms. The woman is still conscious. Her life is far beyond saving, but she doesn't know when to quit and keeps trying to move her limbs.
Still breathing? How filthily you cling to life, girl.
He hands down her death sentence with disdain. The golden man, the heroic spirit named Gilgamesh, mercilessly lets the final stroke fall. I don't want to die. Senpai finally looked at me. I wanted to touch me more. The woman must not be seeing anything anymore. As if in a trance, she speaks a mundane wish in her final moments. Finally. Just when she'd finally grabbed hold of a small sliver of happiness, reaching for that shred of cloth. No. I don't want to die. I don't want to die! Because if I die now, Ne-san will take him!
You offend my sight. How dare you make me work so hard?
The executioner's sword falls. The dream is over. The woman's mind sinks into a pool of blood and disappears into the dirty alley floor, never to wake again. By the time he turns around, it's too late.
You've already grown this
It consumes him from his feet. There's no escape, because he's already... Oh shit. It takes a while longer than usual. Oh my god! It hurts. I don't have much, so I can't heal. She starts walking. Her stomach is growling. The only thought that drives her is hunger. Oh my god, Gilgamesh is fucking dead! Oh my god! Oh no! That's how you know that things are getting fucking crazy, when she fucking swallows him whole. Oh good lord. Even the king of heroes worth hundreds of thousands of souls isn't enough to sate her.
Not enough. This isn't enough.
She cries out as if in a fever dream, but this is no dream. It's the first time she goes into the breeding cage on her own. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah, get fucking blasted, chump. Get fucking obliterated, I guess. But Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Cross. I was thinking that we'd probably stop here. Holy shit. What a fucking way to end. That's crazy. That's fucking insane. I wonder how Kotamungus feels about this. Yeah, it's just like sitting in the church like, something just happened. Like, puts his tea down. Oh my god. Wait a fucking second. I'm scared right now. Oh, good lord. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Okay, okay. Give me just a second. Gonna real quick, mute the game so that we can bring up our chill music. That's really loud! Sorry! Okay. Drag it back. Sorry. I apologize. Anyway, and now I'll go and look for art real quick. So, yeah, give me just a second to pull that up. Okay, checking the Tumblr tag. Oh, nothing in the Tumblr tag. I don't think. Yeah, nothing in the Tumblr tag. Okay. Okay. Well, let's check Blue Sky. Let's get this up real quick. And this. Yeah, I didn't mean you, Bird. I was just surprised to not see anything else there, but that's okay. Sometimes people just don't have anything for the week, and that's fine. P4WST with the 5. Thanks for the Friday stay night before a strange fake Saturday. It's back-to-back peak. Yeah, I do need to get back. I do need to get into strange fake whenever I get through this and Hollow Ataraxia. Probably rewatch 0 too, I guess. But pull up the stuff on the server real quick. Let's see. Yeah, just waiting for Bird real quick. Yeah, there we go. Get that on there. Okay, I think that should probably be everything. So, let's go ahead and get the fan art tab pulled up. Alrighty, so, first we have this from Annie at Almighty Rose and Idiot on Blue Sky. I have no explanation for the first one other than that I want to hear Kirei go ooh poo poo, and I think it'd be funny for Junko to go to church. I meant to make the second one sooner, but until now I forgot. Reality put us in 2 different IPs because we'd be unstoppable as besties who try to kill each other on occasion, but what's a little murder between friends? Jeez. Yeah, I'll look at that in a second. Once I get the fan art out of the way across. And then we have, hey, Fujine, are you alright? It took you so long to get discharged from the hospital.
Oh, I'm fine, Shiro. I couldn't come home sooner because some weird men wanted to ask me about the table incident at IKEA. Let's see, what were they called again? SCP? ACP? I don't know. Anyway, Gramps got them off my back, so we don't have to worry about seeing them ever again.
Jeez. God, the fucking IKEA incident. Next, we have this on the server from Crosstrash. Heavensfield stream spoilers, special one for this week, not a new render, however I wanted to share the first ever Blender render I made, and a remake I made a year later. It's possibly the most on-brand thing ever for this channel. So, first we have this, and yeah, I think you can kind of guess who that shadow might be. And then, obviously, here we have, yes!
Their battle would be fucking legendary, actually. It would go fucking crazy. Honestly, actually, I'm kind of interested to see who would win. Questions. But that's not Shadow, that's not... You shut up! It was a figure of speech. Or, well, not a figure of speech, like, just a description, not the name. He's silhouetted. You know what I fucking meant. Anyway. Next, we have the updated chart from Bird. Oh boy, oh boy. The upside down Shinji. Yep, Gil is fucking dead. Dead as hell. Got more near deaths. We got Sakura's pan downgrade. I can only imagine things are going to continue to get worse for her in that regard. I mean, I don't really think she's going to be having a lot of time dedicated to cooking after this. So, oh well, you know, you could just eat people raw. That's fine, I guess. Oh, jeez. But yeah, we're also going to be showing off these CGs that were apparently censored in the remaster. They're not sexual or anything. They're just violent. I don't know why they would have censored these. So we got the blood on the street here. We got Sakura bloody, which that looks dope as fuck. I really like that. That's cool. And then we have this as well without the shadow. Yeah, I just had the very heavy filter on them. It's weird that they did that. It's like, okay, why censor this specifically? It's not even like that bad. It's just cool. I don't get it. Can't pretend to get it. This one has a lot more blood, but this is also the one with Gil attacking her. Which, yeah, it's pretty good art. I can see where maybe some would think that this is a little bit graphic. But again, I think for a thing with like this rating or whatever, it's not honestly like that bad. Strange, but what can you say? This is really funny music to be playing right now. Yay! Yay, Sakura! Yay! Sorry. I just. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, anyway, those are the CGs. Anyway. But yeah, let's go through them again real quick. Oh yeah, I guess whatever has a point there with like particularly the Japanese rating system, because the first because Remastered is based on the Rialto Nua versions, and I know that Rialto Nua had a release for PS2 and Vita, I believe, and like rating board stuff specifically has gotten like stricter since then, like, or at least it definitely was stricter by the time of like Vita. So I can imagine that they probably did that to avoid having to rate it anything higher than basically like the Japanese equivalent of teen, probably so that they wouldn't have to sell it behind the counter as opposed to just up front in game stores. That's, you know, it kind of sucks, but, like, I guess it is what it is. Like, you can't really do a whole lot about it. Honestly, as far as, like, international release goes, well, at least in, like, America or whatever, I don't think it would have mattered as much. I think, like, you know, anime stuff is already kind of, like, niche enough here that, like, it probably wouldn't have made much of a difference either way if it was teen or M or whatever the fuck. And also, our M ratings are, like, I don't know, just generally sale is like, it's restricted in some ways, but it's not quite as restricted, I guess. It's not as like overtly like, oh no, you can't do this, or like you can't put this in a store display or whatever else like it is in Japan. So, but yeah, I can understand why it was like that over there, I guess, even if it sucks. It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I guess that's basically all we have for fan art today. Let me just check real quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, I didn't. Okay, cool. So yeah, things continue to ramp up. I'm appreciative of the fact that we got a bit more slice of life in this episode. I kind of feel like I'm at a point now with Heaven's Feel where like I feel like maybe it's like a bit long in the tooth in some places. I really like it, but I think it could afford to be paced a little bit better at times. But I'm sure that I'll probably lock the fuck back in once stuff starts popping off again next week. So yeah. I'm interested in seeing how that goes. Well, anywho, trying to think if there's anything else I really want to say, but I don't think there is. So, yeah, anywho, next Tuesday, February 3rd, we'll be starting the Great Ace Attorney. It's gonna be fun, and then we'll pick back up with more Heaven's Feel on Friday the 6th. So I hope you'll look forward to it, and I guess I'll see you all then. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye!